for KC to deal with today.
Yeah,
incredibly fast, incredibly literally on your face. There are some of the things that, as you're saying, not many teams can go into that line because they just make everything seem crazy. All the action happens in like 10, 15, 20 seconds, and if you're not up to speed, you're gonna be late, man.
All right, well, let's go ahead and shift focus to their opponents on the other side of the stage. It's going to be Carmine Core. Now, they're going to be looking for redemption here because they had to, unfortunately, swallow a tough defeat against the Sentinels. But this is a team that really met a brick wall, right, in Sen. And now, coming into this one, Kukuka, we get to see what this KC team is made of as they have to dig deep, which is something that, well, we have only seen once before, isn't that right?
มาแล้วครับ
Yeah, exactly. We know that KC
จอมันมีปัญหาด้วย
they've only lost that one time.
มันฟลิกเกอร์ลิงรัวๆเลย
against Team Heretics back in EMEA, but after that loss, they went on a streak and just kept winning and winning until they got their revenge against them in the final there at kickoff.
Yeah, in the last match we watched them, they were playing a team who just went into playoffs looking fantastic. Sentinels, and it really came down to the wire. I think the make or break in that game, though, was counter-stratting, and the read that Kaplan and Sentinels had ahead of time. Here's one example look at on their split, where they go for this Yoru play that we see from them a lot, where they set up this paranoia, and then it gets punished by Sen. They overcommit to it.
So here's the thing, Junkity is completely ready. I love that we're seeing it also in this lower speed. So basically, as you're saying it, he's going to be using the Euro ultimate, and he spots 1, 2, 3, minimum, I would say 3 to 4 players. The thing is that instead of going back, instead of saying, this is not safe, there is a high likelihood that I'm going to go down, they commit to it. So we're in a part in the tournament that is going to be a before and an after when we go into playoffs.
Yeah.
Set plays will get you this far. If you want to go into playoffs and actually be a great contender to winning this trophy, you have to see beyond.
And this is the turning point for KC. Will it be like EMEA kickoff, where they take that loss, they learn from it, and they go on a run from there on out? Or will it be like many a promising team that have come to international events before, hit that roadblock, and fallen? That's the question for today. Both teams have a massive expectation to make it out of groups, but only one of these squads has been under that pressure before.
Yeah, well, of course, we have Mika standing by as she's going to get some words with Martine. Let's see what's going on there.
Hey Magnum, can we pull you aside for a really quick question? So a lot of IGLs, a lot of
กลับมาดิ
PRX is a tough team to play against, especially for the first time. So how did you prep for this match?
So hello. Yeah, I agree. I think their playstyle is quite annoying, but I don't think it's the playstyle. I think it's their individual performance. I think they're quite insane. But like we prepare like for all of the other teams, and I think we are ready.
All right. Good luck to the team.
All right, well, this is going to be a tall task here without a doubt for both of these teams, but they know the challenge that's at stake here for the both.
Yeah, and I mean, that is really the question today. He can give an answer, but it only comes down to showing in the server. PRX is the hardest team for new IGLs to play against because they play like no one else. You can prepare for how their util combos work, for the plays the players make, but they will take risks that no one else will. And today isn't going to be about the prep, going to be about what fantastic counter strat Eng came up with ahead of time. This has to be about Magnum, about this team, and how one of the youngest rosters we have here can adapt to the most chaotic team, the hardest team to play for the first time in VCT.
Yeah, exactly. And there's many answers that you can give to this question, right? Are we going to give them the space? Are we going to fight them? Are we going to give that chaos a little bit more? If you just look at the compositions, you might think that KC is the kind of team that is going to fight fire with fire, right?
Sure,
for when you see them play, you see a different kind. You see that they interpret the utility in a different way for them to have different outcomes. So I'm really looking forward to see what Magnum is able to do today.
All right, well, we got a few more seconds before we toss it to the map, so I want to get real quick predictions. We haven't really done this in a while, so how you guys feeling? PRX, KC, Mimi?
I mean, I think KC will win this match, but I think it has to come down to the adaptation. I think that their map pool is stronger. They tend to have better reads. PRX is still playing a lot of comps that are kind of weird, off-kilter. They're still figuring themselves out, but there's a real chance PRX win. However, the necessity is they need to be playing like the second half of Split last night. If they can continue that energy, this is going to be a damn hard game for KC.
Hear me out, we're in Madrid. I cannot see this going any other way. KC has to make it onto the playoffs to say the very least. We already have Genji there. I think that they, at least deserve it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you guys. And it would be a heartbreaker as well to not have, any EMEA team in the playoffs.
For either
especially.
of these teams, though. Imagine another playoffs without Paper X. What would that be?
That's very true as well. Great point brought up there. There's still so many more questions. Thankfully, we do have the map selection ready to go. So let's see where we're headed for this epic confrontation.
All right, welcome to Map Select, presented by Omen for match 2 of the day. Based on the draw order, KC, you are higher seed. Would you like Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So PRX, you'll be Team A, and we will start with your first ban.
Icebox.
Icebox, your ban?
Ban Sunset.
Ban Sunset. Map number 1 from PRX.
Bind.
Bind. Side on bind.
Defense.
Defense. And map number 2?
เลือกบายว่ะ
Lotus.
Lotus. Side on Lotus.
Attack.
Attack. Next set of bans starting with Paper X, you have Ascent, Breeze, and Split.
Ben split.
Ban Split. Your ban, you have Ascent and Breeze.
Ban Breeze.
Ban Breeze. Map number 3 by default is going to be Ascent. Paper X, side on Ascent.
Sunset
Play attack.
Attack. All right. Good luck to you both.
วันนี้อเล็กจะทุบหรือเปล่า มาดูกัน
Both teams here looking to move past them, their opponent in this competition. This is
ไปก่อนเลย
going to be a tough game through and through. For Paper X, they're a squad that really rides the momentum of the moment. But for KC, for Carmine Core, is it about being drilled, the structure, the plan of attack that they have here? Whether or not Paper X will just blow the whole thing up.
Carmine Core, they've been tested before, but this is going to be something very different, something they've never experienced in EMEA. This is the day where they have to figure out if they can adapt to a team like Paper X.
We were thinking and saying that 2024 might be the year for the rookies. Well, KC should be the one trying to prove that. Of course, we also have
ไอฟีกเลส แปลก
we have known them for a very, very long time. People are also saying a tournament without Fnatic, without Energy, without all of those heavy hitters, especially DRX. Yes, exactly. When is going to be Paper X's moment to lift the trophy?
That's a great question because it's been some time. Remember, this is a squad that was runner-up at champs last year, right? They have had so many great opportunities in their career here, but to get Monnier a trophy lift, for this team to have that moment would be huge.
I think it's almost more about Monnier getting it for the rest of his team, stepping up, filling those shoes, bringing this Paper X squad back to those finals they've made before. But let's talk about the map, Vito, because I think this is where it gets really interesting. Both these teams play very off-kilter comps. You're not going to see the same head-to-head of the default comps we always get in a match like this. We're starting on Bind, and last time Paper X played this, they lost this map, but I actually liked a lot of the things they were showing with this Harbor Raze composition, with Arena in there too. I think they have really creative ways of executing the site and of kind of pathing their way around and setting up their Raze player on the dive.
So So here's the thing, right? I do disagree with one part. I was not very surprised because I like the harbor, I like the intention, you know, of doing something different. To me, the Reyna was very lackluster. Like I did not understand the final point onto why you would choose Reyna above something else.
But you did. That was a something.
Sorry.
That was dreadful.
Sorry, I didn't do it on purpose.
But the thing is, you don't understand why they choose Serena until something has a game. He has had a very slow tournament up until those last 2 maps yesterday. I think it's not the optimal pick, but if something is playing like he was last night, it is a dangerous pick for KC to go up against. Things for this team to watch out for is how aggressive PRX is with these fast site hits. If you're playing on the site, if you're playing backside A, you are going to get ran over. For me, when we're looking at KC, this is going to be about taking extremity control towards showers and long and playing off site to be able to flood retake.
Exactly, it's the shower controls that in the previous match through
ว่ะมอน
PRX
ขอแก้ตัว
a lot. They were not able to regain that space, and I think that this composition may have a lot of holes. Carmine Core and specifically Martin has to be the one finding those holes and actually taking advantage of the situation.
We talk so much about these PRX individuals, but the 2 youngsters, Nere and Martin, have been electric in Madrid thus far. If they can keep that up, if they can compete with PRX, there's no doubt that KC would be a player in the playoffs.
It's time for our final match of the Swiss stage and to find out who will be remaining in the playoffs. This is going to be a game with a lot of fireworks, so I think we're going to need to bring out the big guns. We got Pansy and Hypoc.
That's incredibly kind of you, GB. But yeah, this game itself, to me, Mike, is
มอนขอแก้ตัว
a question of form. We've seen these teams look hot. We've seen them look pretty cold at times. Where do you stand on this matter?
I mean, it's a really interesting matchup in terms of kind of the style of both these, right? Without a Fnatic of old, without an EG of last year, this is the chaos meets structure, really. The best. We're probably going to get it at this event. We get straight into the pistol round here. Martin, typical position here. Going to take a deep peek on the shore. Something a mind freak here, seemingly aware of the possibility.
And looks like Martin not afraid to particularly show presence. So that's going to be that card removed from the initial start. But again, this to me is just purely I have to wait and see what we see from these 2 teams, which sounds silly, right? It almost sounds like obviously that's what you're going to do. But because there's been such disparity in the way they've looked leading up to this point.
And also taking into account
คน
yesterday.
ไทยคนไทย
Right?
Yes, of course.
It's the old, if you can carry that momentum across to today.
Well, I mean, then you've summoned the PRX of old, right? Or the one that strikes fear into every team's hearts because they are hard to handle. And it looks like Shin's going to be the one to have to try and deal with it. Going to try and depend a little on Magnum too, but he's been already forced away. Pressure on the site, and it's Monye there.
มาตีเนี่ยคนไทย
The site is somewhat under PRX's hands. Can they confirm it though? Can they get that plant down with any threat? Looks good so far, focusing mostly towards elbow to gain that control. Plants in times on their side, but there is presence on long here.
Actually, the flank comes through 2 towards long, 1 still outside Martin here, outside Hookah, and actually Mindfree going walkabouts here. Going to be punished for that. Magnum giving up a lot of space here, but PRX can't really find him. He's already on the defuse.
Yeah, they need to get a challenge on that, and they do. Forsaken knows what he's up against, trying to do the damage, and Monye is firing off today. That's what you want to be seeing as well. Magnum, the last one alive, trying to play it back in from CT, but they didn't achieve half on the defuse earlier. A tap on the spike will confirm he's no longer on it. Something with that wide swing around. PRX, good beginning here.
Comfortable here. And really, with this flank coming through the TP, I
แต่
think
ช็อต
maybe
นี้มัน
Carmine
เสียวจังเลย
are
อะ
thinking
พี่เอ๋ย
there's 2
เอฟ
potentially 3
เดี๋ยวมาก
I mean, with a lack of
ยิง
information,
รวมกัน
Magnum
น่าจะ
taking
10 นัด
such
ยั
a
งไม่
deep
โดน
position. There's
โล
some
ซะ
real
ด้วยงง
questions about exactly what's going on site.
Yeah. And one of the caveats
น้อง
to
มอน
me
คม
is Monye. Now, we've seen his performance not quite to the highest echelons yet. He's had some
เรา
very
มาดู
good
วันนี้
games
วัน
when
นี้
activated.
ทำไม
But I
ที่จะ
mean,
มีแบบ
we all
เมื่อวาน
noted
ปะ
Benji Fishy
แบ
calling
บ
him
ไม่ว่า
out.
คือยังไง
And then
อ๋อ
what
ลุก
happened?
ขึ้นมา
But
เออ
regardless,
น่าจะไม่หนี
seemed
ปะ
to a very strong
Vietnam.
start. And Mike Freak, yeah,
อุ้ย
farming.
อุ้ย
Read it well.
เมื่อวานมันเจ้าบ้านไงเสียง
Dealing
เฮ
with
มัน
Magnum
เล้าไง
and
ต้องเอาซะหน่อย
Martin in the very beginning here.
อุลตร้าไวฮิวคุ้มจัดช็อตนี้
Just going to be going through
โอ้
the
โห
motions. They've already done a great deal of damage. I don't need to particularly over-commit anywhere. Just need to be a little careful on the way back in case anyone's trying to fill that space behind them after the contact towards B long.
ว่ามา
Maverick
ฟี
does actually give it up here. Narrate going to be played in on the Frank
ขอบคุณซุปจากซิลิน่านนะครับ
to maybe apply some
เจิม
pressure.
PRX 420 ต้องมา ได้เลยเจิมไปคนละไลค์ก่อนเลย
One way round though. PRX will get a clean plant.
โอ้แล้วพี่นเรศมาไกลจัดเลยว่ะพี่เอฟพี่นเรศเกรดสีซ้าย
มัน
ใกล้
เป็นอะไรวะ
เรียบร้อย
It's looking good. Narrate's been caught. Last two
ไม่มีเกม
not really entertaining much of an
เกม
attempt.
อยู่ในนี้เนี่ย
So Shin and Tomasi
คำน
gonna
วณไป
have to
แล้ว
just kind of accept that this is going the way it's going. But again, for PRX, this is good composure shown here in this second round. This should keep all those
แล้ว
weapons
เพิ่งเป็นเมื่อวาน
standing,
เนี่ย
especially
จัด
that
โต๊ะ
prize
นี่เกี่ยว
possession
ด้วย
in the hands of something. That's the key
จัดโต๊ะแล้วคอม
component
แหลก
in going forward. And again, you're going to have the likes of that Bulldog still in play as well. A couple of other little bits and pieces. Going to really bolster that going into the bonus. And for PRX, this is a good start. Cool, calm, collected. No threats found here. I'm going to give it up to the spike just to ensure none of those orbs could have been farmed on them.
นเรศถือปืนเซนเหรอ
Carry across all this weaponry
หรื
as
อว่า
well.
เซน
So
นเรศ
I think round 3
And
very
Sassy.
interesting for PRX. Only
อุ้ย
really
ซาซิก็
Martin
มา
will
ไม่ใช่
progress
หรอ
towards
ป๊า
the
เอาซาซิ
ultimate.
ออกเหรอ
มาแต่นเรศมันอเมริกา
Take
ไง
a
ตำแหน่ง
proactive
ซา
approach
ซี
here
ด้วย
to the defense. Take the fight to PRX.
พวกสาย
ลงล็อก
ไหม
เลย
น่าจะเกี่ยวกับสายกระจ
Tall
ก
order, yeah.
คืออาการมันจะเป็นแบบนี้เว้ย
เออนั่น
สมม
ไท
ติ
ย
ว่าถ้ามีคนแฟลชในเกมอะแล้วแบบจอแม่งสว่างเกินอะมันจะแบ็กสกรีนไป
Hate
เลย
the
มันแบ
fact
บ
that
ปุ๊บ
there's a
เลย
player
อะ
called something
จ
because
น
it
กว่า
makes
สี
me
มันจะกลับมา
constantly
เป็นป
say
ก
it.
ติ
It's like if he casts big, oh,
What?
well, okay, at least he's getting
นั่น
killed.
อะไรอะ
And Narrate's just been
ไปซะแล้วนเรศ
removed. He got to look
นเรศ
at
บอก
this
ไม่
round
ได้
and
เล่
it
น
was just taken away. Unlucky.
ซื้อปืนมายัง
And
ไม่
now
ได้ยิงเลย
the
เล่น
psychic comes in off the back already. Big pressure from Monye. Gap closing perfectly to
อุ้ย
VCT.
นี่มันมุมน้องจริง
Just massacred. That's perfect.
เฮ้ย
Great work
เฮ้ย
from
มอสมันมาว่ะนี้
Gets the upgrade. Sits back towards
มองไหน
Showers.
ห้อง
Job
น้ำต่อ
done.
เดินไป
Those
เหมือนจะ
two
ไป
will
ขี้
need
แต่
to
ไม่
be
มีคน
saving here. There's no two questions about it.
แล้วเซฟเลย
Well, the question, I guess, if Monye can carry that form across to today, that explosiveness still remains
คุณต้อง
for
มอนนี่มั่นใจ
sure.
ขึ้นเยอะเลยว่ะ
Two
ว่าน่าจะโดน
Martin going to give this one up.
อะไรพี่
A bit of a something stunned.
ทำไมพี่แกล้งจัด
Oh,
แล้วจริงๆอะ
Another moment where you just wish you had comms.
I know. Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be great?
เหลือเชื่อ
something เนี่ยรีเฟก
That
ไว้
was a
ไง
ghost of production. We can't see.
You're bold.
กูจำได้เลย
But,
ตอนนั้นเล่นกับก้ากับน้องปอน กูยิงใส่น้องปอนอย่างเงี้ยลกทุกดอก
Cool gets to keep these rifles.
นักแข่งนี่ลกทุกดอก
เขา
Definitely not
จดจ่อ
close enough
สมาธิ
to
จด
Martin,
จ่อ
but
รีเฟก
curious if
ผม
Shin
ไป
was
ยิง
maybe
แกล้ง
gonna
แล้ว
get a
ลก
challenge
หัน
on
มา
that.
สวน
เอาไว้ยิงแกล้งพี่เอ๋ยถ้าเล่นกับพี่เอ๋ย
But for PRX, look at this gap close coming from
Oh,
Monye.
that
The
hang.
fact he gets away with this, there's
Defect.
no awareness coming out from Magnum there, just seemingly swept aside by that.
That's the audio we're missing.
Look, we're not allowed fun. All right, no fun allowed. How dare you request it? Oh, it's broken the back of Carmine Core. And if you're the Carmine Core fans out there, right, you're kind of hoping that they came out with a strong start. Maybe correct a little bit, maybe that confidence deficit they would have been playing with after being kind of pushed around. A lot of people saying they've been performing under expectation, which I think is a fair critique. Because there was such high hopes for this team coming out of kickoff, and they looked exceptional, but hasn't quite lived up to that. And again, the pace is unrelenting. Look at Monye and something instantly dominating the space.
นี่มันแผนคลาสสิกเลยอะพี่เอ๋ย
I would say Magnum's a
Paper
little
League
bit
อะ
enemy lines,
Bye.
but can he make anything of it?
It's going to be tough. With only a
no,
shot
no,
in
no.
hand
Oh,
here. Hey, show, yeah, all
โอ้โห
lands.
ระเบิดแม่น
They're going. Yeah, the gap closing now. Monye going to be put to
Oi.
test, put to task. Oh, that's
Ui.
rough. Blinded and Monye just
Oh.
popping
Oh.
off. Yeah, farm him up.
Ui.
Even spotting the right there. Over towards
Oi.
the skybox. This
Ed.
guy's on
Oi.
fire. He's
โอ้โห
Money.
มอนมันไปกินอะไรมาวะ กินน้องจริงเข้าไปไหมเนี่ย
Any questions you have, Lauren?
เนี่ยมอนบอกว่า
The
ไม่ได้
opening 5 rounds
ยิง
here.
ยังไงครับ
Definitely a statement being said.
สงสัยว่าโดนพี่เล็กจัดหนักเลย
I'd argue that MEA
เปลี่ยนฟอร์ม
counterpunch
เลย
setting them up for failure today,
พี่มอง
stoking
โบแล้ว
the
จะมาโอ้โห
fire
ในวัน
of
ที่ผมเอาจริง
PRX.
And you're absolutely right, isn't it? You're almost
โดนปรับทัศนคติ
seething
อยู่ที
Heretics, could you have not? Sit
They just
down.
play it down a little bit, yeah. Just
Relax,
Manjai
be
lao.
humble. Be like the fans on Twitter. Be, you know, how dare you give it?
เนี่ยเปเปอร์เล็ก
you
ป
know?
กติก็นิสัยดีนะ ไม่ยืน
Hate
ไม่
club
อะไร
has
ทั้ง
just
นั้น
grown exponentially.
ไม่เว้นไว้แต่มันจะโดนก่อนไง
Oh, God bless him. Well, let's see. Does I think it's Martin there on the other side. Yep.
เฮ้ยไม่เห็นเหรอ
ขอพิสูจน์ตัวเองนะว่า
Lovely early protocols. Again, we often kind of compliment Carmine Core and other teams with that, you know, the protocol list. And,
Oh,
oh, you've
Dad.
got Eng in there. You know, you've really got, you know, those glimmers of Gambit, all of that. Fluff, but you got to give credit where it's due as well.
Mon
PRX,
King
yeah,
King
but
เข้าไป
they're
แน่
a
เลย
little
ว่ะ
bit more simplistic at times in the way they approach the game. Obviously, mechanically is their high point, but they're still very diligent about any of these clears, always very heads up in their work.
That's the definition of thriving in the chaos. They're able to create it and benefit from it. A few other teams have. Slow down here at least by the poison orb. Snakebite to follow up. Right there. Monya chomping at the bit, taking a very aggressive angle here.
Well, he's had Magnum's number. This time it's Forsaken, but it could have been either. He's absolutely been dominating
เดิน
this
กู้เจ
site.
สันส
Now
กาย
they're
ไม่
going to try and
สู้
play in a little bit mid-tempo almost. Carmichael
ไม่วาง
trying to
default
take a
ด้วย
little bit of
ฉัน
space
เอา
back here,
ด้วย
but there's going to be no reason to fear them. They've been
เอาไปหนึ่
sweeping
ง
them every time, and Monye is just a
เอา
demon.
ดิหมด
You can't get
เอ้า
away from him everywhere they go. It's only Shin to bite
โดน
back
ดาวาย
so
เบรก
far.
ความร้อนแรงครับ
Even
ผมจังหวะนี้
then, just about converting onto
หายละ
Monye, but there's the back
ดาวาย
line.
เบรกความ
There's
ร้อน
still
แรง
something with
เครื่องกำลัง
that
ติด
line.
เลยดาวาย
Still
ลง
gonna
ใส่หน้า
take
ไป
a
ทีนึง
chance.
เฮ้ย
อุ้ยมาร์ติน
Is Martin
ไม่ได้นะ
gonna
ตัวนี้
play
ไม่ได้
off
นะ
this?
กูดูเมาส์ดิ
มาไว้จัด
Flashes, but not
มา
in
ตีนเป็นเพื่อนกับซัมตีน
One close, yeah. Forsaken not even gonna let him get off
มา
that
ตีนไว้
spike.
เมาส์ไวเวขนาด
PRX
นี้เลย
in
เหรอวะ
full form here, Mike, and Carmichael
ใช้ได้
doesn't have an answer.
No, expecting a timeout pretty soon.
Yeah.
Carmine Court to take stock and maybe come up with a way to
Come
really
out
try and
เลย
control the early round here, because PRX, one of the worst things you can do is give them freedom, give them space to, do what Monya's doing here. Take really aggro pathing with your satchels, get up in the faces, and bring the fight to you. It's very hard to sit back and play retake versus a team like PRX. Because they always convert this space into a kill, maybe two, but there's very few options, to be honest with you, other than fight fire with fire.
Yeah, it is that choice, isn't it? Okay, we can sit super deep, play full retake, but we don't
PRX will
have-
keep pushing.
Of course,
You
they're
give them
not gonna
back,
leave you.
you give them backside, they go spawn, they go
Yes.
deeper and deeper.
So take space elsewhere, try and hold some part of it, but it's easier said than done.
นี่มันคนช่องส่องเนี่ย
In this case, a lot of people, and when we talk bigger picture, Mike, while we're in this timeout, a lot of people look at Loud and go, okay, are they in championship form? And how do they fare in this? You can't turn that gaze away from PRX either.
Let's go, let's go.
They're one of the old gods at this tournament. They've still held on. Yes,
คา
there's
มาย
been
น่าจะ
some
ชิลกว่า
roster
เฮลิติก
changes.
เมื่อวาน
That's not a surprise.
ที่เมื่อวานมัน
But still,
ดูว่าเฮ
they
ลินก็
have
โหด
that potential, and it scares me because round by round and kill by kill, I feel like we're getting closer to what makes them almost untouchable. Carmine Course certainly not touching it right now.
มันบอกว่าเมื่อกี้เขาถือป้ายซับบาวนี่ด้วยกดไลค์กดซับสไครต์ไม่เกี่ยวอันนี้นอกเรื่อง
Couple of ultimates about coming online
เด็ก
here
ฟอร์
for
ดไนท์มันเอา
Carmine
จัด
Court.
เลยตอนนั้น
Martin still sitting on his, but away from the Seekers.
เป็นจี้แม่งยิง
Showstopper
แบบ
around the corner
เวอ
as
ร์
well, potentially the next buy round for KC.
มอนปลดล็อก
ศู
ว่ะ
นย์ห้า
PRX looking to
มอน12 ว่ะ
explore towards B long here. And
จริง
Martin
ไปไหน
does
จริ
have
ง
a
ไปทหาร
TP,
นะ
โอ้ย
but it's very quickly going to
เขา
get
จะบิว
cancelled
ข
out
นาด
again.
นี้เลยเหรอ
เดินแรงจัดเดินแรงจัด
Himself here. Pace
ไอ้ย่า
change.
ปุ่มชิปทิ้งไปแล้ว ตรงนี้
Different
Look
side
at
too.
Lua.
We've seen them hammering that A side. A little bit of the stack was in play. Nice from
อุ้ย
Shin.
ตาย
ไอ้หมากัดตาย
ตัวหมา
ตัวหมากัดตาย
สงสัยหมายี่ห้อ
left
นี้
in
ดุ
the
ไปหน่อย
corpse. Down to 4 apiece.
เฮ้ยมันใกล้เหลือเกิน
Maybe trying to identify where some
Something.
of these players may be. They've got to have a
Oh,
good
by that.
idea.
Taking the TP, right?
โอ้ยเกือบ
What was that?
หนึ่ง
เอา
คิวอีก
ฮิว
They're just in full
ไม่รอ
troll
ฮิว
mode.
ก่อน
Here in this
กูไม่ฮิว
anti-eco.
กูไม่เอา
Left one post.
ไม่สน
here,
ดูดเอา
Mind Freak.
ผมไม่
Trying
ส
to
น
police these weapons. I mean, it's an operator, so you know KC are going to
โอ้
want
โห
to
แล้วไม้ฟิก
narrate the
มา
first
เก็บตก
identify Mind Freak's position.
พี่นาเล่ที่ไม่ได้เล่นเลยนะตั้งแต่มีปืนอ่ะ
They're running.
นั่นเล่นโดนรัว
Better off
เอ
it.
อถ้าตานาเล่บอกกูยิงไปไม่ถึง10 นัด
ๆมันเอาไวฮิวหมดแล้วเมื่อกี้
But at this point, you're looking for silver linings and small bonuses. And Magnum has connected towards Divide, but actually going for the Seekers too. They're really committing on this one. Flash's turn. Something's got
Martin's found one.
a little bit of a heal here. So ult's going to come in, but they're going to run low on time. Keep
Keep an eye
line towards Monye
Oi.
as well. Still in the case. Still
Oi.
in the mix. He has
Come
been
on.
a monster so
เอ้า
far.
เอ้ย
เอ้า
เอ้า
ไม่รู้เหรอ อะไรอ่ะ
The fight,
ทำไม
and
เขา
they
ไม่รู้
seem
น้อง
so
มอนเหรอ
confused.
KC were looking towards showers.
They had no
มินิแมปไม่ขึ้น
idea.
เหรอหรืออะไรอะทำไมเขาไปเล่นที่นู่นแล้ว
มันลั่นไปแล้วเราไม่ใช่เหรอจังหวะเมื่อกี้
Even at that moment, you're questioning the investment of the Seekers from Magnum, but KC
อ๋อโดนโดนเป็น
explode
บายพี่เอ๋ย
back into
พี่
this
อ๋อ
retake.
Hey, they needed that, Mike.
งง
Stop the momentum. Potentially, I mean, Martin full.
โอ้โห สเต็ปมันแบบ
Trying.
Coming out, yeah, Tomasi, I don't
โอ้ยคม
know.
แมก
Maybe
นั
that
ม
position wasn't relayed, but
แมกนัม
looking
นะแต่
towards
ใช้ปืน
bench
เชอร์ลีฟ
showers here. Luckily, a second teammate to pick up the slack. Right, gonna get aggressive here. And his bodies. There are plenty down here.
Okay, you said it
นาเล่
before.
ไม่ไหวแล้วว่ะ
Fire with fire.
นาเล่บอกปืน
And they are
กูไม่ได้เล่น กูเล่น
setting
โดน
the
จ้า
place. They're gonna carry on. Martin willing to
อุ้ย
challenge.
ซัมติง
They're getting down and dirty.
เลน่าโอเปอเรเตอร์
Something
แบบ
has
เวอร์ชัน
quelled
ทัน
some of
นี่
that aggression by taking away Martin, but still they have the man advantage for the first time in what feels like forever.
Fast flank coming through as well. You can see already progress outside of
และ
hookah.
อันติ
Paper's got to be
โอ้โห
conscious of
กู
that.
ทามมิ่ง
Clearing
Oh.
both of them. That was
Nia.
fortunate not to be a collat at that point. Very nearby. Narrate needs to be careful because they've already slipped a little ahead. He might have heard Forsaken and he
เชื่อ
definitely
ใจไม่ได้รถ
knows
เดี๋ยวนี้
close by. So maybe trying to.
Forsaken!
เฮ้ย
เฮ้ย
กูทัมมิ่ง
He just stepped
อุ้ย
out
ทา
of
ม
the
มิ่ง
cove.
คนไม่ได้เล่นว่ะนาเล่
Oh god, a device right here. They've got no.
เป็นไง
โอ้โห
ได้ไปสอง
ครับทุกคน
รีบจัด
Look, you can try
ไม่
and
ละเอียดเนอะ
play PaperX in their own game, but they are damn good at it themselves.
คิดว่าซัมติงเป็นตัวสุดท้ายแล้วตรงที่อยู่
I
ข้าง
mean,
หลัง
it's one of those moments when
ก็เลยแบบ
Narrate's
ไม่
probably
คิดว่า
thinking it'd be
เป็น
crazy
คน
if
มา
this
อยู่
guy
หลัง
just
2-3 ตัวเลย
walks out of his own smoke or cove or whatever it
แต่ไว้
is.
บอกกูอยู่อะดิ
Something able to get a, I guess,
หรือว่า
a
ซัม
benefit
ติง
of
ช็อต
timing
นี้เขา
here.
แมวทองวะ รถมันเลยไม่ดี
Avoiding
เทค
boom bot.
งง
มัน
วะ
ทะลุป่ะเมื่อกี้
Sorry, traded.
ไอตัวเจ็บ
To
อะ
the dismiss.
เจ็บไป
โด
ตัว
ใช่เห
เจ็
ร
บ
อ
มันจะเจ็บใช่
But Monya facing the showstopper. You hear the audio cue.
เจ็บแสดงว่าต้องทะลุกำแพงด้วยไม่งั้นมันตาย
A tale as old as time.
You can do it once, you ain't gonna be able to do it twice. Something now holding for this aggression. You can see him chomping at the bit though. He wants in.
โอ้โห
Tomasi.
มั่นใจเลย
Hold that angle. Again, this is
Tomasi.
welcome to deathmatch.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is
But
now just
this is the sort of thing that you want to see.
Tomasi.
You don't want to
They
see
have
them
to.
lose an opening duel and then back up and look to absorb a site hit. That's just not going to work versus PaperX. If they're allowed to
อ้าว
execute onto
ย้ายเลยเหรอ
My freak's going to
ทำไมอ่ะ
find himself a wide
ทำไม
open
ย้ายอ่ะ
site here.
ไม่แบบว่า
พลังเหรอ
บอกไปเลยว่าเอ้ยเดี๋ยวไปเข้าเอเดี๋ยวแกล้งโรเทตมาบี
มันน่าจะซื้ออ่ะ ปืนมันไม่ได้ฟูลไง
อ๋อ เลยซื้อ
Again,
ไซส์
can't
หนึง
really
ไปเลย
fault it.
เต็
Like I
ม
said,
ใช่เพราะว่า
Tomasi's
ซัมติง
posted
ตาย
almost
ซัมติงโผล่ตรงนั้น
posturing
ค
a
นเดี
little
ยว
bit that yeah, we're
อ๋
going to
อ
fight for this site.
ยี่ซื้อง่ายขายคล่องดีว่ะ
PaperX another situation where it's
เป็น
just
คนจับใจได้สอย
they're
ง่าย
not willing to show any respect.
Spike plant.
A Molly here, orbital strike, showstopper, plenty of post-plant possibilities here. I was just wondering actually how quick this flank's going to come through, but yeah, Mind Freak's.
Got to be aware of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he dropped the smoke, he's back on it now.
Yeah.
He's going to look to orbital strike just for the dog.
แตก
เล่นหมาเล่นหมา
He's cooked it.
โอ้โหอ่านขาด
Ideal in that, and now
โอ้โห
Forsaken
ทะลุมาเลย
gonna
ว่ะ
play forward. PaperX still starting to
เอ้า
Don't
ยืนบูบูบีบี
Forsaken
โดนระเบิด
Houston. Send them packing.
ยิง
Oh
อัด
my
กำ
God,
แพง
trying. They are trying to play this scrappy game, and it just isn't working for them.
Fortunately here
โอ้โห
now,
KFC
have a lot of
สู้ไม่ได้เลย
scoreboard
อะ
pressure from this first half, a 6-round deficit.
ได้แชมป์ EU มาจริงไหมล่ะ
We've seen too much of a switch up here from PaperX, but still seemingly a
ผม
decent
ว่า
read
เป็น
on
ประ
the
เด็นก็
early
ลั่นจัด
round.
เลยว่ะพี่วันเนี้ย
ลั่น
Able to punish
Mad.
this
อาจจะสู้ใน
aggression
EU
down
มา
a
เยอะ
short
ป่ะ
time
ก็เลยแบบว่า
and time again.
ไม่ค่อยสกิมกับโซนอื่นไม่
They've
ชิน
got to change this scoreline somehow.
โค้ชเขาบอกเขาไม่เคยเขาหนักใจมากที่เจอ
Packs
พี
will
เป
be
เล็ก
breaking
ด้วย
from
เพราะ
the
เปเล็ก
heavy
เล่นไม่
heart
เหมือน
just
ทีม
looking
อื่
at
น
that scoreboard. It's
เป็นโค้ชครั้งแรก
brutal to
ที่
play
มารายการ
against.
นี้
Mentally, because you're trying to pick yourself up,
Brand
be
new.
confident, take challenges against a team who are running you down. And again, a little bit of variation coming out from PaperX here, looking at trying to adjust towards that B side, or at least an early
และการเซต
indication
ส
of
มองแบบ
it.
นี้ถูกหรือไม่ถูกครับสำหรับ
TP
เจสัน
committed to, it looks like. Actually, no. Going to decide to back away.
Now they're almost faking that they've rotated, creating all this pressure, dumping all this util, but all it is a switch up towards B long. But Magnum's going to sniff it out.
That was good information there in the Seekers, but they are going to go on this. I'm waiting to see Monnier dive in here. They've got to know that Tomasi is still around as well. You can see the Lears there. Martin has found Mind Freak, but they've got the site control. You can already see they've started to really place their banner on this site. Look for the flanks, look for the pressure on the back lines. We need that plant to come in for at least a little bit of safety for PaperX, which they've got right about now. 4v5, it gets dicey.
Three coming
Forsaken,
through hookah.
got to invest that little bit of utility to try and keep them further
Look
away.
at the reflank though. Look at Device's position.
โอ้วอลปิดคุ้มจัดอ่ะ
He's got to get there quick though.
timing
เป็นฮู
himself
ก้า
on
เป็น
the
ซี
back
ที
by a couple of seconds here. That's all he needs. A
ซื้อ
couple
เว
of
ลาไปอีก
seconds.
หน่อย
Device done so well. He does catch
Ui,
Shin.
bom.
Forsaken then called in. It is just
Ui,
methodical
lo,
in
lo,
approach.
Ui.
It's a 2v2, but look at the HP. The
Kìa mà
wall
lão.
wounded, limping towards the
Bộc luôn,
side.
sát
It's
hùa.
just Magnum left alive, and that is just not gonna work.
โอ้
PRX
ขาดว่ะ
just
หนึ่ง
outstanding right now. This is them in final full form in my mind.
They have plans on
One
plan. I mean, it's almost
13.
automatic as soon as the
กดล็อก
Trailblazer
แล้ว
comes
ว่ะ
down long.
Yeah.
PRX know they have to be explosive. Capitalize on that timing. Get ahead of the rotation of KC. Again, you can't even really fault. You look at the minimap here, and when PRX freeze on this first wave, the first pressure out towards Hookah, KC are immediately rotating. They know that PRX are trying to find these timings. I think now PRX starting to play with that a little bit.
Subverting expectation.
It's the pressure now. KC is so desperate to get a round win up. They want to be so active around the map that they create these holes themselves.
เฮ้ยหายแล้ว
This is that experience in play again.
Bar quá.
You know, we can give Eng
Biết
all the
pop
credit in the
thành cho.
world.
PRX have done this to countless teams. Countless
Best
teams.
in the world, best
Yeah.
in the world through errors at this point. Keep in mind, this isn't just a team that's only done it once during an X stint when the meta was X, Y, and Z. No, this is a historic team who's been able to do
โอ้
this
โหทิกตอกเลย
over
นะ
a
เมื่อวานเฮด
variety
โปรลิมิเตอร์ให้มอน
of errors.
เหมือนแบบว่า
เอาซื้อ
เวลา
เอ
เปิด
ง
จุด
อูเจสันใช้วอลฮาร์เบอร์แบบ
This is all on the back of just
Put
the one wall coming through, but
Okay.
PRX
Oh,
might have a
through
miss.
เขาโยก
เอ้า
ว่ะ
There we go. This
Ui.
could be it, but they've got to make it work with very
Cái
little.
lan.
Team's got to be good for it. Spots
Miên
one,
chặt.
lets him cross. This is huge. The discipline
Oi.
is here, but can he drop the bodies? He
Oi.
can. That's two. A third needed. Not going to get it. They still have a chance here.
Oh,
PRX
cái hại.
up against pistols. What is going on? Something just flew in.
เสียหายเลยอย่างนี้
Satchel
ห
kill.
รือมันฟรีคนเดียว
What the hell
โอ้
just
โห
happened?
เขาซื้อถูกไง
One of the most bizarre
ตอนแรกก็แบบ
Mastercard thrifties you'll ever
เอ
see.
อนึกว่าจะเข้าบีแล้วเขาซื้อจากอะไร
Something
วะ
like
ยังไม่
I
ทัน
think he
ขาย
has
เลย
double the range with a shorty.
เฮ้ยเหมือนมันจะหายแล้วว่ะแชท
เงียบ
ภาพแม่งมืด
Very
สัตว์เลย
bizarre. And, just after
ทีมัน
crediting,
เงียบ
this is
มัน
a
ฟิลเหมือนแบบ
total
ว่า
misread of
เขาเรียก
the
ว่าพลัง
situation.
งานจอมันไม่พอ
KC finally able to actually win out in one of those scenarios that I was saying wasn't really suiting them up until now.
พลังงานของปลั๊กมันไม่พอป่ะวะ
Operator on, I believe either side. Yeah, Narrate's got his. Something. Gonna go
ทำไม
for
ซัม
two.
ติงมันถึงเลือกที่จะถือช็อตตี้เข้าไปวะมันจนเหรอหรืออะไร
And now we're in a bit of a state of flux, aren't we? Things are a little bit up in the air. Are they going for those double fakes again?
ไป
Are
เล่น
they,
ใกล้มันมั่น
are
ใจ
they
กว่า
just going to be pausing off to take maybe a little bit of space? What are they up to?
มันกดดัน
Question marks. This is gonna
ใช้
put
ของโก
Magnum
ดังโคตรดี
through
เลย
the ringer.
ไปเล็ก
And already Narrate going to find something. So that's his
Ow.
closing number basically removed, but the bulk of the hit is coming this way.
So Tomazi didn't actually catch the stun there. Will result in the pick coming out in response. Big ultimate to draw out this early on. Tomazi did actually take some damage there
He's got to be careful.
among that exchange. Do have a third member here. Narrate has come across with the operator just to hold elbow, yeah.
อ้าวนี่ไงไอ้สัตว์แต่พี่เพื่อรัวเลย
Pop him for shin. I don't think he's going to take too much damage here and actually rewarded.
อุ้ย
Asi still trying to keep his head down.
Spam.
It's 10
แป
HP.
ม
A little bit of spam, a little bit of
เรียบร้อย
going
Thomas เขา
astray.
โล
He's
จาก
gonna
อะไร
lose
วะ
drop
พี่
the pit for them.
อะไรนะ
That's plant now.
โทมัสสี่เขาไปลงมาจากอะไรอ่ะ
Ult going to be
Really
invested
deep.
from Martin.
Yeah.
He's going to try and lead the way. Can he spot these players out? Did he see Mind Freak slip towards elbow? That's the question, because he can try and divide and conquer. The flash is sent, they know it. This is good from Carmine Corber. Can they handle him? Yes! Ult!
Oh,
ult,
my
ult.
feet.
They're investing
หน้าตอนลุง
everything.
แม่งกระเด็นแม่งหาจัด
Now divide in a 1v3. Flash still with Martin. That's about it. And yeah, that's clean.
นาเรศมาแล้ว
Right there, that's fine. We'll be happy with that.
แล้วเล่นหมุนแบบสปีดบอทมาเลยอ่ะ
Work with Mike. It's not much, but it's there.
Like I said, you come out of this with an 8-4. Feels like a bit
มื
of
อ
a
ชนเลยว่า
miracle
สะบัด
how
มื
this
อ
half
น่าจะ
kicked
เจ็บ
off. KC with a course correction towards the end of this first half. I mean, look at the timeline here. Very, very quick response here from PRX to apply this pressure towards Hookah, but it's the Viper's bit that really slows them down, forces PRX to reconsider their approach.
โอ้เมาส์ไวจัดพี่นเรศ
มาก
And a crucial 4K from Narrate. Really the superstar, I guess, overall
ทีมนี้
so
มัน
far
ไว
here in
มาก
Madrid.
สะบัดมือไปทีเมื่อกี้ชนคีย์บอร์ด
Guy's a standout player.
ไม่ใช่คีย์บอร์ดตัวเองนะคีย์บอร์ดเพื่อนข้างๆด้วยนะ
โอ้โห สะบัดยาวจัด
For an early crunch
อุ้ย
towards A.
โอ้สเต็ปนี้
PRX maybe waiting for that burst here.
โคตรเฟี้ยวอ่ะ
Something they depended on before. Going back to it again, it was brutal. You saw it before. Monnier really ran rampant, but it was actually Magnum this time to hold him back. This is better, but he's not going to be alone. Narrate's trying to close the gap a little here. Might deny Forsaken, he does. Yeah. Good work. Boombot to follow, but there is a squad of 3 staring him down. The Cove is keeping them safe. Another Satchel, another deny. Rotations are coming in. This is great.
ไอ้สัตว์แล้วกูไม่วางก็ได้
This is really good from
ไอบีแม่งนี่
ไป
เลย
ดีกว่าไกปูงอน
rotation.
กู
Like
ไม่
they're
วางก็
taking
ได้
the TP,
แม่
they've
ง
got free sight.
Yeah, something's looking for the
เออ
back.
ว่ะแล้วทีนี้แม่งก็โล่งเลย
Molly will go down. That will cut off any sort of pressure coming back through.
ทิ้งซัมติงไว้
มันโยกช้าจังมันกลัวมีบีเลิกมาแน่เลยเพราะมันเสียบีไป
Right, we've seen this.
He's so conscious of taking that TP.
จริงได้ยินละ
Oh, fight on CT.
Ui.
No, not
Ui,
really
khom.
good follow-up
Ui,
shots
khom,
there.
Davai.
That is control
Ui.
from Davai.
ขอบคุณครับ
Delivers bullet after bullet perfectly. And now the problems for the final 2, trying to play it back towards the site. Martin looking to try and take control with that operator. Look through, see if he can spot someone out. But again, they're playing deep. They're going to make it work for it. Spots something over towards long.
เห็น 2 คนแล้ว
Spots Davai. They've seen both of the
ลูก
players.
เข้ามาแล้วลูกเข้า
Can
มา
they
แล้ว
close down on them though? They're not.
Oi.
Oh, they do swing ahead.
Oh,
I mean, it's
Naled.
PRX apparently.
Oi.
They can see you just
นาเลนมา
fine.
ตีนมาแล้ว
Come on,
2
Core.
วินิต
Just about back in this, Mike.
แย่ละ
Something unfortunately locked out of sight here
8-4
with
ต้องได้ปืน
SMG.
พกถึงจะ
Real possibility
อุ่น
for
ใจ
him to get much done, but a beautiful recovery. I hate to say that at an 8-4 scoreline, but a recovery nonetheless for Carmine Court. See if the approach continues here for PaperX in the second half. Apply that same sort of aggression once again, Lauren.
Can they keep it up? Can they keep that tempo up? Carmine Core scraping together those 4 critical rounds. Is it going to be enough?
That is the question that is on our minds because it started off quite nicely for PaperX as they were able to put a sizable amount of rounds together. But this actually takes us to our Verizon high-speed moment of this particular half. Is when we start things off with Monnier. Good to see him, really picking up where he left off yesterday.
Yeah, to me, these first 2 rounds were about Casey figuring out how these site hits work with this harbor wall pathing one way and Monnier having a lot of different variants on how he paths into this site. They were really punishing Casey early on. A big mistake to make is wanting to play back site to be able to flood back in against a team like this so you can fight them while they're execing. But with this interesting pathing and the way that PaperX plays with timings, that's almost impossible to do. So as this half developed, we started to see, I think, some good adaptation from KC, but it was only towards the end that they really figured it out. And this guy was such a big problem to solving that.
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. It looks like we're going to talk about Monnier every single day, but he deserves it. And I think that play was also a very, very good example. Low buy, because it's a bonus. You have the ability to float them. That's exactly what you need to do on the side of KC. By the way, I was saying the Reyna not completely sold, and I forgot for 1 second that it is something, and he only needs to be on the operator. So of course, I'm still looking at him for this defense side because of the reason why you would play Reyna is to deny those traits potentially when you have the operator. If he has the same effect that he has in other maps, he's a very big threat.
It was a tough half for Casey, but they've rallied at least 4. If they can win this pistol round, build some momentum on this half, they can be strong. Their comp is really good at fighting for these extremities and having really fast rotations with the Yoru. They're comfortable here. They have their confidence now. This should be a much closer half.
Yeah, I see a KC that has woken up a little bit. I'm sure these fans are definitely adding to that momentum, but let's see if PaperX quells the fire. We're going to send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
8-4. PaperX did kick this off with a belting start. No 2 ways to put it, but Carmine Core have clawed their way back. They found a rhythm, they found a solution, and it got them 4 rounds in pocket. But Mike, do you reckon they can hold on to this?
I mean, it depends really on PaperX's willingness to apply the same sort of pressure here. No, hang on. I thought he was just sat on the site here for Forsaken.
แล้วพี่นาเลก็สลบสลายไปอีกครั้งหนึ่งตามกาลนานเกิน
It's so fast.
เจอปืนกลนะดิไม่ไหว
He's got to have heard. Yeah, he's heard all of this.
กงจัดปืนพกแม่งเอาปืนกงมาเล่นเฉยเลย
Oh no, he's just eating the paranoia.
เฮ้ย
โอ้โหหมดพอเล่
โอ้หมด
เรียบร้อยเกมไว
อันนี้คือฝั่งบุกจริงๆใช่ไหมไอ้เคซีหรือเป็นเล็กกลับมาบุกอีกรอบสลับมาบุกเหมือนกัน
Run it back for me one time because what on earth?
ไม่มีไปเลยไม่ฝั่งการมีฝั่งบุกกับฝั่งบุก
Not only does he find the kill, but stays alive long enough where this four-man flank. I mean, isn't really necessary. It's OTT if
โอ้
anything.
เป้าพี่มอนแบบเดือดจัด
Over, didn't it?
One enemy remaining.
Just peeks out. Device still back here because he's dogged through. The
อันนี้
trailblazer
ให้มี
comes
เล่น
through.
ก้อน
อารมณ์ดีอารมณ์ดีวันนี้อารมณ์ดี
Tomasi just peeks out of the wrong second.
Got a force.
โอ้โหเจอปืนพี่เอ๋ย
โอ้โหโหดร้ายที่สุด
เซอร์ไพร
There's
ส์
going to be
จัด
more
จัด
pressure, but he's down low, so he's got to be a little bit careful on that HP.
เฮ้ย
Martinez
มี
already
พี่เอ๋ย
back
กระ
by
บอก
side,
ห
but
นึ่ง
something still doing
เฮ้ย
damage.
อุ้ย
Heal off.
เดี๋ยว
Goes in for more.
คืออะไร
Carmine Core
ซัมติง
just
มัน
about
จัดไง
staying
มันจัด
alive
พี่
in
มัน
this.
ต้อง
เนี่ย
ไป
มัน
แล้ว
เกินมันเกินอันนี้มันเกิน
มันต้องแบบนี้มันโว้ย
The awareness is here from KC. Magnum reflanking it.
การเล่นเกมเราต้องสนุกกับมันก่อนพี่เอ๋ยซัมติงยึดถึงกตินี้
This time
โอเค
it could be
โดนละมอน
awful. Yeah.
ตาหน้าน่าจะไม่ดุ
There's nothing he could have done.
มีตังค์
Now, sitting pretty. What can you do against three? Two towards lamps. There's too many bodies there. Carmine Core. There we go. Finding a
fought
little bit
by
of an
them.
answer there for themselves, but I was a bit worried. Obviously, something's judge was going
วิ
to
นมันห่างไปมันต้อง
I
ฟอร์
mean,
ส
it's scrappy as anything to kick this off.
โอ้
Something
มันเว
again.
ตรงนี้
I
แย่
don't know
มาก
what range he thinks he has.
ผม
with
มัน
shot
ให้คม
calls.
ว่ะ
He's jumping out here.
ให้ซัม
trying to
ติง
find
นัดนี้ไม่แน่
another
เมื่อ
kill.
กี้
A round two flip here for KC.
เหมือนพี่เอ๋ยเลยอเล็กจะเมื่อกี้แบบ
Well, he's called it.
ตาหน้า
He's
เดี๋ยว
called
ไม่
it.
สนุกนะไม่มีปืน
God, why would you say that? That's literally how you just get swept.
We've had
ตอน
so
ปลด
many
ล็อก
more
ครับ
4K moments at this
เฮ้ย
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
อุ้ย
Oh, dear. Oh.
หายแบบว่า
Smart
โรยนวล
first.
นึกว่านาเล่จะไม่ได้เล่นอีกแล้ว
Oh.
รอบนี้เป็นมาร์ตินผัดกันไม่ได้เล่น ผัดกันหม่งดูให้ลิสสองคน
They've got two vans.
So yeah, massive equipment advantage here.
Yep.
If
Yep.
Monyet and Forsaken understand the shotgun range a little better than something.
He's just
Like
ambitious. He's just a little ambitious.
You can't fault ambition.
No. Oh, there you go. Now there's the pause because you can see that
Okay, so you're kinda stunned here, yeah?
They're just like, what the hell?
เป็นฝ่ายบุกที่ขอญาติ
They
กัน
don't
ก่อน
have a beat on the rest of the map
กูงง
either, right? Like the A site's completely unknown. There could be a flank on the way. They have no clue.
Well, these are the sort of compositions that this sort of playstyle from PaperX does run rampant. With no sentinel, there's so many question marks.
The Bucky. How does one feel about the Bucky?
I mean, if they're playing in long, they know to try and avoid the danger zone here. But Monyet, a chance to make something happen potentially here. I mean, he's inside the smoke. He's got the paint show out. You can deny the plant at least.
I just feel like something's going to go wrong. I've just got
Oh,
a
he
weird
doesn't
feeling.
แม่นจัดระเบิดลูกนี้
Okay, went to the
Tomasi
เล็ง
eats
ๆดู
that.
center of tube. Heal considered, but they don't really have the
อุ้ยคม
foundation.
Something.
Oh, God.
อุ้ย
No, 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 no,
เฮ้ย
เฮ้ยจอกระตุกชิบหาย
อุ้ยเจอข้าวหลามพี่คันเร่งเข้าไป
What's
เกิดอะไรขึ้น
อุ้ยเหลี่ยมจัดเหลี่ยมจัด
Kanye isn't going to get away with this. Nah, I'm not going to do it.
มาขี้
Magnum
ขวา
there grips hold of the round.
คิดขวาเบาจัด
โอ้โห
The Bucky
Hello.
is useless now because Shin's down at
แต่บักกี้
8
คิด
HP.
ขวามันกาก
Oh, my God.
กากแล้วเหรอใช่ไหม
กาก
There's a timeline where those right clicks
แต่
are
ระยะไกลก็ควรคลิก
one-shotting
ซ้ายเหรอ
Magnum.
Beaming him.
มันใช้แทบไม่ได้แล้วมั้งคิดขวาเบาอ่ะ
Something is such a
อุ้ยแมงนัมนี่คมอยู่เนี่ย
playing out perfect.
The
Mau
timing of
mày
this
mà.
first
ดุ้ง
kill
ดุ้ง
as well.
โดนคลาสสิกเนื้อดุ้งเมื่อกี้
โดนเซล
Oh,
โฟ
done
กัส
to
เยอะ
him
หน่อย
after almost being cursed in the pre. But we do see the buy coming out now.
ไม่เป็นไรไม่เป็นไรเอาใหม่เอาใหม่เดี๋ยวมีราวสวยๆให้ดู
Huge.
Seeker's available here for Carmine. Other side, I think something. Let's have his ultimate. Early showers control for KC.
อุ้ยมาแล้วครับ
More aggression. I mean, 30
เป็น
seconds
ฝ่าย
in.
กันที่
Seems
ขอ
like
ญา
it's
ตบุ
gonna
ก
come.
โอ้
Device
ย
all
การ
the
สะกดยังไง
Martin was able to scrape
Bay
by
một
one.
thầy
The
bục
pressure
Âu
is
lần đã lên.
one side of the map. It's
สวยจัด
โอ้โห
everywhere. Monyet is
คะแนนนิ่งมาได้ตัวนี้คือสวยเลยเนาะ
คือถ้าได้นี่เวอร์จัด
I got
ข้างในนี่แม่งหล่อเลย
What the hell is this game?
โทมัสซี่งงเลย
Okay, so Tomasi has space on B, right? He's got
จะ
the
โทร
B
ไปแล้วนะ
side.
Problem is
จะ
Shin
โทร
has
แล้ว
about
นะ
as much HP as he did last
ไม่
round.
รับ
Oh, God.
ไม่รับ
Trying to make something
My
work,
free.
make this a
ไม่
little
รับ
more
ปาโทรศัพ
comfortable.
ท์ใส่กูด้วย
โอ้โหวันแท็บ
Shin will
เลือดเหลือ
fall as
11
well.
มึงยังยิง
PRX
หัว
double
ตาม
digits
จริง
there.
โคตรเดือด
3 of them left with rifles. They can bolster that buy around it as best they can. But this crunch, it wasn't just here though. Again, run your mind back. It was also
จ
Monye
ริงๆ
at
เอา
the
สไป
same
ให้ฝ่าย
time
เปเปอร์เล็กก็ได้
taking
นะ
this
ยังไม่ติด
space,
อะไร
and it just completely caught off Narrate.
One enemy remaining.
You say don't die, Fish. You say don't die.
Because again, it's like you see,
เล็กก็ไม่เซ็ง
ทำไม
เดี๋ยวจบไวไป คู่แรกมันจบไวเราจะเล่นกันอย่างนี้ไม่ได้
It's all encompassing.
เซ็ง
ตอน
เซ็ง
หน่อย
เฉย
And their ability to punish defaults like this is it's just
งง
it's tough to watch, but at the same time,
โอ้โห
it's,
อะไรวะ
Oh, it is. And the question is, how much can Forsaken hold
Look
on
at
to? He's
Fountain.
being hounded, yeah, because the
เฮ้ยมาแล้ว
hunting
นะ
squad
เล่
is on the way,
เครื่
but
องแรง
they
จัด
completely lost the A
เมื่อ
side.
ฉีกโรงเรียน
Fortunately,
มา
โอ้ย
J
เอาดิ
alive. Forsaken outplays
ไอช็อตซี่
Bobby
นี่มันพกกันทุกคนเลยวะ
perfectly, but Narrate is there to try and keep this in their favor. The spike's in CT.
เดี๋ยวนะ
เฮ้ยมีหมาไม่เห็น
มอมเดินไปไหนอะ
Classy played in off the back of that. Now position noted, but that spike's still in CT.
Spike
They might
moved
make a
by
run for
ฝั่ง
it
นู้น
towards
แล้ว
B.
งง
They
ว่ะ
don't know yet. They don't know how
ฮะ
this
ใคร
fight's
บุก
gonna
ใครกันกันแน่
favor.
วะ
How is it
เดี๋ยวนะ
to
สไปร์ไม่อยู่ฝั่ง
You still
CT
have Monye
กู
in
ไม่เข้า
this
ใจ
position.
เฮ้ย
What
โอ้
is this
เฮ้ย
round?
เฮ้ย
What is that shot?
how's he
Oi.
getting two?
He
Ba
shouldn't
chặt.
be getting two.
He's got
Ba
serious
chặt,
to
ba
deal with
chặt.
as well.
They
The
don't
Mind
even-
Freak
they
serious.
don't
งงไปหมด
They have no idea.
One enemy
Death
remaining.
creeping
Pinalay ko
around
ba
the
yun eh?
corner as Narrate now called upon. This guy is damn good, but he is going to need a worldy
Oi.
round here. Oh,
It's
they
gonna
missed
be
it.
alright.
Paint shell back on
โอ้โหแล้วเหลี่ยม
Divine.
นี้
Dipping down has to slip away. And now Divine
Hanat.
1v1, no flash,
Ui.
nothing. Five breaths. Oh,
ไม่ไหว
Divine's
ไม่ไหว
got him.
จะไวเอาให้
Devastating. After Narrate was
โอ้
this
ประมาทไม่ได้เลย
close
นะเลดอะบอกเลย
to getting KC back in this game, but it is going to be 11.
จริงๆเหรียญเมื่อกี้ถ้ามันยืนดีๆเนี่ยมันได้ยิงก่อนแล้วน่ะ
Trading
คือ
blows
นาเล่นแม่ง
now
เก็บ
back
คัด
and
มาแล้วแบบ
forth.
3 คน
And
4
I
คน
mean, this is just ridiculous.
หุยพี่มอนนี่ยิงไม่พลาดเลยเมื่อกี้
And the fact that Mind Freak's in a position here to punish Shin. Narrate,
เสียว
unfortunately,
เลยอะ
again, it feels like this is a free sight. So he has the time
กูทำมิ่งพอดีเลย
to get towards long, find a more
อย่า
comfortable
เพิ่ง
lane.
ปวดหัวเล็ก
ขอฟอลดูนึงครับ
ไวคัดไง
For
ไว
Narrate.
คัดไงเล็ก
God, he tried.
We almost made that happen.
ไอเยอะเข้าเอนะแต่สไปร์ไปซีทีแล้วมาวางบี
อเล็กบอกกูดูเฮียอะไรอยู่เนี่ย
Such a volatile game
Ngùng
between
chiếc
these two.
này.
Like normally in these rounds, my mind drifts a little, but there's still stingers out. There's still sheriffs. There's still a couple of ults that could potentially come into play.
Seen both teams
แม็ก
capitalize
นัม
in rounds like this.
แม็กนัมโดนปืนพี่เลยหรือเปล่า
Our spike carrier is down.
Mind Freak's
Tía
just
thăm can.
farming
เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
on B side.
Oh dear.
มอน
Um,
Sủi
can't
chứ
replay
phải.
that one. What the
โด
hell
น
just
จับ
happened?
ขา
It was a Prius moment.
บอมดรอปไง
เฮ้ย
เฮ้ย
Classic.
We might see the end of the round though.
ถ้าได้ก็เวอร์แล้ว
Sharp to it. Magnum now left to try and
Oi.
pick up. He's
Oi.
got another one.
ปืน
A
นี่มันข
third
นาด
on
นี้
the
เลยเหรอ
round for him.
Yeah, it's been enough to call in the ult,
ห้า
right?
เจ็ด
But
วิ
that's
ไง
enough.
ไปเอแล้ว
อ
เจอกั
ย่าน ง
ไป
นาน
เอแล้ว
They haven't spotted him. They didn't actually see him on the
จาก
cross.
บี
That's
ไป
ไปไหน
เอ
ไปไหนไปไหน
a little bit of time, right? Like it's not a lot, but it's enough that you might be able to get a plant down. They have no idea. He
What?
got an elbow by them. You know, they have no idea where he is. This is massive for Magnum.
What positions is
Alien
he?
Tower.
He's back towards spawn. And
คู่
actually
นี้มัน
PRX
ดี
is
ว่ะผม
splitting.
ชอบว่ะ
He might have timing here on something.
But
เขาได้ยินเสียง
does
เจสัน
someone
วาร์
slow
ปะ
down? Does he wait? Does he
ได้
try
ยิ
and
น
play this out? He's going to note
วาร์ปหนึ่ง
Forsaken,
โอเค
obviously. Doesn't know about something yet, so he's going to have to just make the best educated guess he can. Is this
โดนละ
a
แม็ก
position?
นัมไม่เอาสักทาง
That might almost help him a
ไม่ดัน
little.
สักทาง
Something does
ซัมติงค่อยๆไหลเข้ามาใน
He's
กางเกงจังหวะ
going
นี้
to know it now. Which way?
Eh.
You got to gamble. Did something
เอาได้ยิน
noted?
เสียง
He's looking this way.
นี่
Magnum, can you clutch this up? Can you do what
Oh.
the Rate couldn't? You got one to the right, one to the left. He can't
ไม่
do
เอา
it.
ทางจริง
Forsaken there.
ยิงฉลับ
แม่งไม่เอาสักทางเลย
That is
อย่าให้
12.
ต้องสอน
Map
นี่
แต่คนสอนยังนั่งอยู่นี่เลย
Down to the wire once again.
นี่
KC
ประส
still
บการณ์ป๊าป๊า
having
ตั้ง
scoreline
แต่ไป
aside.
20 ปีวาโลเรนต์
Keeping
มาไว
these
กว่านี้
rounds
นะ
close, Lauren.
Yes.
ป๊าป๊าจะ
Said
อยู่ตรง
trading
นั้น
20 ปีเลยอะ
low here.
20 ปี
Oh.
Yeah, farming.
ไม่ฟิหู
Farming hookah. Purchase will come back for Carmine Core. Showstopper to work with. One away from the pit, two off the Seekers, so some tools potentially here. Can they keep Map 1 alive?
Look at this patient start. cautious.
เมื่อกี้ถ้ามอนมันวิ่งเข้าวาร์ปไปแล้วมันยืนรอยิงตัวที่เข้าตาม
Down B long.
ก็200 IQ นะ
This time actually pushing towards A short.
ปืนหน้าอร่อยด้วยนั่นไงซื้อต่อยแก
Charge. How long does he stick
ใส่
around?
ได้ยินพี่เอ๋ยว่าปืนนี่โกง
Siding against committing towards it. Divide.
เฮ้ยหมุน
เฮ้ยใช่
สบายตายป่ะเราโผล่มา
Not actually relinquishing the
เรียบร้อย
on that. Deciding not to pull back. There are 2 players behind him.
6
Forsaken B.
5
เอากัน
4 3 2
1
Dixie almost trying
เหมือนหอป้าจะช้ากว่า1
to bait out a rotation, much the same as PaperX did.
กดเดี๋ยวรอมันจบวินนี้ก่อน
Aggressive from Hookah could be rewarded. They might even have time in here. KC have turned their backs.
เฮ้ย
This is a disaster in the making. They have no idea.
No, he's looking back.
Great turn, but it doesn't
นาเล่
matter.
บอกคุยอีกแล้ว
Executioners here. Mindfreak gonna make something out of that. 2 big kills found, but they have a player advantage for Carmine Core. 3 to the 2.
They have a pit to work with though. Tomazi can lock down this site. Monyet gonna be able to find an upgrade here. Something's got ahead of him.
He's in, and he's got one. Martin's gone. He's got enough time for at least Monye to get close by, get a rifle into his hands. One on sight, one towards
Oh
sight.
God!
Monye unleashes
Oh.
fury. Tomasi. Carmine Core
ใจมันร้อนด้วยนะ
around. Barely alive, but they do it.
2 examples of that energy being their downfall. A little overzealous. The approach from both Something and Monyet.
วันนี้มาทุกคนมาเป็นเลย
Punished here. KC will find their 7th.
One enemy remaining standing.
Regardless, so they are both looking absolutely electric.
นี่เสียดาย
ซีดโอ้โห
มอนแม่งโดนดักจัดช่วงนี้
จริงๆอเล็กเนี่ย1-2นี่เกือบได้นี่ จะร้อนไปไหน
Just still get him on a
จะ
real
ร้อน
low.
จัด ขึ้น 12 แล้วเนี่ยแล้วดูสกอร์ KC ยังร้อนอยู่ถ้าสัก 90 นี่คือแบบค่อยๆตึงหน่อย
So maybe we can still steal him.
เพราะว่าจุดผิดพลาดเล็กๆอาจจะเป็นจุดที่ยิ่งใหญ่ก็ได้อเล็กบอก
Tipping the scales. This round though they are coming in less equipped. They do
ไอ้
have
จริงๆไอ้ที่ทำหน้าเครียดแล้วทุบโต๊ะเนี่ยอาจจะแบบ
something.
โคตรสนุกเลยแบบว่าพูดอีกอย่างเลย
Find a kill.
Almost got the full
อ๋อ
depth of ult.
อาจจะทุบโต๊ะแต่ฮาอยู่อะไรเงี้ย
แบบว่ามันอยู่
กูฮา
There's a full play stack. Now, traditionally, we've seen a couple of variations, but it's mostly Divide playing towards long, so maybe just him showing his hand isn't going to give away too much. That, however, should ring a couple of alarm bells. Maybe hoping to catch him a little further up towards long, but oh my god, patiently waiting.
แล้วให้ตัวฮิวเลือดลดด้วยนะ
Dog. Not sure how many it would have spotted there. Seekers in response here from Magnum.
ไม่เดิน
Everybody
แล้วเขา
huddled
ก็มา
towards
เจาะ
this
กันตรงนี้
position.
จะเอาให้ได้นะ
Smoke's about to drop here. Monyet caught in the open.
มอนโดนอยู่
อุ้ย
Has Forsaken as well.
เฮ้ย
Oh, traded.
Bit of damage here, and Device still around.
ไปแล้วครับ
For something though, he's the final boss, and TP comes in. Yeah, nice work from Carmine Core. Quick pivot. Something is trying to hunt them at a similar pace. He is getting to spawn. He might get around
something.
the back of Shin here.
ได้ยิน
ติง
ว่า
วิ่งอยู่เปล่า
Still, they're going to get the plant.
เจอแล้ว
I don't think anyone's close enough to stop that now, so that's going to go down for the back line.
something
เฮ้ยแต่มันยืนหลบ
Wins
อยู่
this out.
I think it's going to catch in here. Orbital strike committed.
เฮ้ย
ไม่พี
One goes down. Mindfreak did get the trade, but look at this. Something
Sorry,
now
Dad.
getting closer. We're down to 2 on either side. Mindfreak still only with that sheriff,
Oh,
but it might
เหลือ
be
สอง
enough.
เหลือตัวตึงด้วย
Martin waiting in showers. He's gonna take down Mindfreak. It's all on
ได้หรือ
one.
เปล่าสำหรับ
Something.
น้อง something
Can he make something out of this? Incredibly hard round to try and break back
Oh,
into
Colin,
now
that
with these
may peak เลยว่ะ
positions.
หลบ
Check
ไว
back
จัด
into the flash. but
Fought
no
that.
swing from
โอ้โห
Martin.
Lovely, lovely work here in the post plant from Carmine Core.
พลิก
They're
คู่
keeping this game close, Mike.
ขอยัดพอ
They're
หนึ่งที
building back now.
คุยไหมคุยไหม
Spring their step. 4 rounds
ยัง
still
ไม่คุยยังรับ
separated.
ได้อยู่
Frugal from both sides here in terms of investment of ultimates. Surprised to see the orbital strike come out there. PaperX must have felt pretty good about things. Alex
สงสัยต่อไปมาแข่งนี่ต้องเตรียมแบบปากกามาหลายแท่งหน่อย
ปกติเตรียมโต๊ะมาหลายอันไง
Ultimates still available.
ตอนต้องเตรียมปากกาด้วย
Seekers and the showstopper
อีกหน่อย
being
คง
the
เก้าอี้แล้ว
headliners for PaperX.
แบบว่าเดินลงเว
Still
ที
got that pit for
เอาเก้าอี้
Tomazi.
กระทุ้ง
Martin now try and fish out some information here on A site.
Let's see. He's blocking him. Just spotted
Oi.
him out there.
อุ้ย
How much
Oi,
can he get
Dinale.
away with though? He's stepping towards CT, but all eyes on him. But it's Narrate
เข้าบินทีม
from
ชา
up
ติ
above. Taking down Forsaken and
Oi.
something. Sights now open. Martin not going to be able to convert that kill,
โซน
however.
หลุดไปไหน
And they're getting quite paranoid at the flank. They're going to pop the ult as well on top of it. Viper's pit to try and
Oi.
secure this. Monye with the first man forward, but Narrate with the spray
มันมี
just
อันตินี่หว่า
connects
เมื่อกี้
well. This might be enough.
A showstopper gone. PaperX's
แปลกๆแล้ว
opportunities now
เริ่ม
dwindling.
ใกล้
See
เข้า
that?
มาเรื่อย
Have
ๆ
to
เริ่มหาย
consider
ใจ
the
ลด
save
ต้น
here.
คอเข้ามาเรื่อย
So well coordinated. The value amongst these two, Narrate and Martin.
ๆ เฮ้ยหมุนอีกแล้ว
โอ้โห
Information for
ทำอย่างนั้น
a taste of their own medicine here. Won't be able to string together much of a purchase after this. But 2 rifles nonetheless. Mindfree can
เหมือนจะหาย
divide,
แล้วว่ะไอจอผมที่กระพริบ
carry
กระพริบ
across into the next.
หัวจัดแจม
โอ้เป้าพี่นเรศแบบเวอร์จัด
First half was, fine, but this they're already towards the
เล่นอ
top
อก
of
ไหน
the board here. Just
ต้น
one
เกม
kill
ยิง
behind
กูเยอะ
Monye, who's
พวก
on
มึง
19. So Narrate's starting to feel out the game a little bit, but again, it's just so dangerous when you're up against 12 and you're up against PaperX. There is that chance they just bring out a mad round that you can't handle.
เล็กเรียก
So
คุย
they
แล้ว
decided it's time for a little bit of a break, a moment to consider. PaperX pumping the brakes here themselves. Let's check back in. 3 in a row for Carmine Core to get them to these 9 rounds after what was a very hard first half.
I mean, every team should be having nightmares about a PaperX timeout with what happened yesterday. How quickly things turned around after calling a timeout.
True.
Carmine Core have built their way back into this map. Another buy round and a chance to tie things up. Force the overtime. And not many tools at their disposal now. They're previously pretty frugal in terms of the investment, but
รับโอวาจาก PRX
saving grace here that PaperX will only bring in 2 rifles, a couple of sheriffs, a stinger.
พอดมา40วินี่พูดอยู่คำเดียว
Definitely a
แต่ว่า
concern.
สแปมไอ้บอลเจอกูจบเกมเจอกูจบเกมเจอกู
พูดไทยได้ด้วยอ่ะ
โมโหโม
Let's
โห
see if they're up to anything, if we're seeing that stack anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
มัน
someone
บอก
goes
กูอีกแล้ว
walkouts. Him joining them over towards B might be somewhat indicative of it, but
น้องมอมีอันติด้วยสบาย
just kind of scraping together a buy to try and even out the economy a little bit, getting what they can. Something's been a little off on his purchases in that
เรา
regard.
เล่นเรา
but
เล่น
still
หยอก
Martin trying to
เอา
test.
นี่เล็กนิสัยดี
เพราะว่าพาชั่นอารม
Get
ณ์มันเนี่ย
himself
เฮ้ย
the orb there. Patient beginnings. Does that TP get taken on the other side as well? Looks like it might be if they do spot a player, but as it stands, it's only Martin considered.
ขอเลขขี้ขอเลขขี้
It's faking a little bit here, but
แนวเลขคู่
that should be very indicative of what's going on.
เป็นฝ่ายบุกที่ขอญาตกันจนฝ่ายกันขอญาตบุกแทน
Still happy to let the clock tick away. So they might pivot back towards an A site hit here.
ดึงโซ่แล้วว่ะ นี่จะเป็นปกตินี่เหมือนจะดันสู้
From
ปะ
Mindfreak.
นี่แบบว่า
มาแล้ว
Nothing going to be found off the
เฮ้ย
showstopper
อันติแล้ว
except for information. KC now dial up the pace towards A.
โอ้เขาเข้า
They
เอ
get moving, they got it clear.
Ooh.
Done by Narrate. That's a tick in the box now. Can they take towards the side? Mindfreak is waiting. Quick little heal, going to get them topped up here. Flank
Man,
Phil don't
that's going to be
Man,
watched.
Phil don't
Shen
tap.
is on flank duty. He's got to catch Monye. CT has the rest of the
30
team
วิ
going through. Martin clears Mindfreak. And now Divide.
ผมมันโค
Something
เวอร์ดีจัด
shoulder to
ยากเลย
shoulder.
We spotted him on yet, saw him.
Spotted.
แล้วพี่มอนอันติมาเราด้วยซื้อผิด
Did he just get seen on the other
Yeah, he got
side?
seen on the other side.
Okay, so still, that's threat noted. Monye should be dead here, yeah. 3-man squad waiting for him. Done. Quick turn of attention because look who's on the side. Device now here. Tomasi handles it well.
ยากเลย
Something can do nothing about this. Too many bodies, too little time. Carmine Core. They're back in the game. Double digits made. Maybe OT is now on the horizon.
Win out this buy round here. I mean, especially with the showstopper being invested. This PaperX just is itching to make something happen in this round.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it'll be tough behind this. That could give KC access to overtime.
แปลก
อเล็กเลยค่ะเริ่มกุมขมับ
Forsaken
แล้
one of his
ว
ultimate, something, Empress. Nothing else really here. And the TP from Shin.
หรือว่า OT จะได้
The
แต้ม
TP from Shin's going to get right behind this. He's
Spike.
committed
นั่นแล้ว
to
วะ
it.
อุ้ยสวย
โอ้โห
Tomasi and Martin.
Ma leo.
Get caught on the cross.
แล้วบอม
แล้ว
ต
ก็
กไง
คิดเข้ามาในไซด์ดิ
That
Check
spike
back.
is in a disastrous place. Shin
อุ้ยนกไม่เจอ
doesn't get noted by the
Ooh,
flash.
sweet.
But there's somewhere
Ui,
Monye
hấp.
sweeps back through.
GG เลยงี้
Oh, it's just one of those rounds where PaperX decide to walk.
กัน
on
ตั้ง
you.
นาน กันไม่อยู่
Round
บุกแม่งเลยแล้วกัน
It's
อันติเลยลูก
just ridiculous. You let your foot off the gas for a minute.
Second.
คือไม่มีอะไรคือแบบทะลุสโมกมาจบเลย
Up towards Hookah. Nope.
แต่ของไม่แตก
You absolutely couldn't. And that might be the start and the end of this map. That spike being lost there. Because they can go back to their default.
I love the way the PRX have just disengaged from this as well. So they know KC have so many question marks here. They have to shift walk around the entirety of the map. Now got the spike, 40 seconds left, and limited options.
It looks like narrate be a problem. Pull rotation and pray that Magnum can outdo Forsaken. He's got one flash and a slow rotation coming his way from Monnier as well, so he's in a real pickle here. Forsaken has the angle, and he's got the shot. Spike now left, it's all on one. Narrate, can you do anything? Monnier is getting audacious, but PRX get to 13 and claim map 1.
Great resilience shown here from Carmine Court. Tough to ever have to mount a comeback versus a team like PRX, where every round feels demoralizing. Feels as if you're just getting out-fragged, basically.
Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Welcome to the big leagues, Carmine Court. 10 rounds was good. 13 was much better.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
สรุปมันหายดียังวะลองดิก็ยังดึบๆอยู่ยังมืดอยู่ปิดทำไม
Red Bull gives you wings.
อันนี้ต้องปิดนี่ไม่ได้แล้วเพลงตัวนี้คือตัวโดนเลยเนี่ยจอผมแม่งถ้าเปิดไบเนตเยอะๆอะจอมันจะกระพริบเว้ยมันเป็นห่าเลยวะเป็นโคตรจังหวะนี้ผมใช้เวลาจอหนึ่ง
พี่เอฟเพลงนี้ชื่อเพลงอะไรครับ
ไม่ได้เปิดครับ ตรงนี้โดน
บ้านแดง โดนเหรอ
โดนดิ
5
สัมภาษณ์
IGLs. So how do you as a coach manage to wrangle all that?
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the way we practice. I think the most important thing is trust. Like, we trust each other a lot, and anyone can take over anytime they want. And we also do a lot of work trying to align, you know. That's pretty much it.
Right, well, so far so good on
เกม
this
เมื่อกี้
round.
เหลื
So
องเปล่า
let's see if PRX can close
เหลือง
up.
พี่
It definitely does come through with this team. We've always talked about it with PaperX. They're a squad that always just kind of like rise of momentum. They communicate with one another. Their comms oftentimes don't even lean on just one individual. For me, it kind of sounds like a Halo match sometimes, where they're all just yapping at the same time. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it is wild. The first half of this game to me was quintessential PaperX. They were out there PaperXing all over them, dragging Casey down into the chaos. And that's what I was worried about for such a young team. Playing a squad like this for the first time, them dragging you into that chaos, your comms getting muddled, you experiencing something you haven't really played against before, and PaperX thriving in that. And that was the case for quite a while. But I think we really saw a step up from both these teams to be forced to play a lot more strategically, and actually to Carmen Core managing to gain some control in the second half.
And loving those small micro plays that we love PaperX for. We're talking about the Reina denying those trade-ins is something that she can do so easily, and it fits so well to PaperX, and especially to something. Some of these rounds literally made no sense, maybe.
Yeah, it was absolute chaos, but I think you're absolutely right that that's kind of what's defined PaperX for so long, but it's also true of what Carmen Core was doing. I think a lot of the good in this map was when they were showing us these Yoru ult combos. They were setting themselves up after that. They definitely learned more how to play against PaperX. It's just that this squad built themselves such a huge buffer on that attacking side, and they're always gonna steal at least 1 or 2 rounds and a half. It's really hard to come back from a deficit against this squad.
And not only that, we saw Casey actually getting lost in the sauce. We were seeing a lot of ultimates invested in just one route to make it through, as you're mentioning. The Yoru, even the Showstopper, everything being used at wrong timings. We see also Magnum struggling a little bit with his own ultimate on how and when to use it, just because of how overwhelming PaperX is.
And that's exactly that. They're the team who's gonna rip any hole you have in your communication, any hole you have in your practice. They're gonna rip that apart because of how chaotic they are. The question now, going into the rest of the series for me, is whether this team for Carmen Core can wrangle control of this one, because Lotus, our next map, it feels like for them, that is their comfort zone, and I don't feel like these little combos, these alt combos that we talk about for PaperX are as strong on this next map.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I do want to know what the coach of Carmine Core has to say. We have Eng standing by with Mika.
Hey guys, Mika here, and now I'm with Coach Eng of KC. Now, Eng, Magna mentioned earlier that PRX can be a team that is pretty annoying to deal with. So I want to know what they were doing exactly that was so difficult to deal with, and how you guys were able to mitigate that as the side switch.
First of all, they are an amazing team, really, with amazing playstyle, a very unique playstyle. So I don't know what to say, to be honest, because of to be honest, it's a pleasure to play against them. Really, we're learning a lot from this game. So yeah, I don't know, like, but what can I say? It's hard to read them because of this like unique style, and I don't know what to say, to be honest. But we will try our best on the second map. So yeah.
That was such a wholesome answer. So let's get to it. Second map.
It almost felt like Coach Eng Kakuka was a little speechless there as well, because I mean, he has expressed praise for a lot of the players that they've met on that stage, but there is something unique and special about this PaperX team.
Yeah, exactly. Eng can be as wholesome as he wants, but he's going to need much more if he wants to face off PaperX now in Lotus. This is the map chosen by KC, and maybe one of the reasons is what happened yesterday when PaperX lost this map. But again, I think it's going to be a lot of what happened on that bind just replicated, and a lot of what happened against Heretics happening again on this Lotus. A Mind Freak that doesn't respect any timings, any position, that's just going to push through, and a lot of crazy and set plays again.
Yeah, it is absolutely a map where PaperX does that same style. But for Carmen Core, we have to talk about the history of them on this map. They've been playing the Fnatic comp. They beat Fnatic on this map. They have beat pretty much every top team they've gone up against on Lotus. Here, this is where Magnum tends to put on a masterclass. Their attack side, decision-making, the way that they call is always near perfect, quite honestly. And I actually think their style if PaperX is going for these forward plays, they don't have the Reyna to combo. They don't have the same kind of util setups. It's crazy that I'm talking about Reyna as like the big util agent, but they don't have those same tools to set up these combos like they do on some of these other maps. So I think this will be a bit of an easier time for KC to punish when they're playing their attack.
So you mentioned the Lotus situation and them being so good at this map, but I also have to say in the back of my mind that if PaperX comes out just like they did on Bind with a big lead, and then you're like, oh my god, we were supposed to be good here. I get a little worried about the young team on that stage in that situation.
And not only that, we were talking about how Monier is doing great in this tournament, how today specifically he's performing super well. And he's going to be leading that race onto Forsaken.
I mean, we saw Forsaken's debut on Race last night.
Loved it. I mean, well, debut, exactly.
Yeah. And this is a crazy switch make, but it's PaperX. Rules don't matter.
I was gonna
say it's PaperX. This is it for Carmine. This is a team
that
went
on one
ไม่มีเซนติเนลแต่2ดูเอลลิสจะไปดูกันว่ารอบนี้จะเป็นไง
And now they're here in an elimination
เดี๋ยวนะน้องมอนก็เล่นตัวนี้ไม่ใช่เหรอถ้าผมคุ้นมากเลย
คือแมปที่แล้วอ่ะมอนน่าจะเล่นฮาร์เบอร์ไม่ได้ถ้าเป็นโอเมนแอตตาน่าจะเป็นมอนแล้วหลังจากนี้
มอนนี่เมนแอตตาใช่ปะ
And for PaperX it's quite the opposite. They need to close this in a very good fashion if they want to be contenders for those playoffs. Genji's already waiting on the other side. It could be a great year for Pacific, especially if EMEA goes home this early.
Well, it's now time to see what this Carmine team is truly made of against the game and ready PaperX to send it back over to Pen.
ซิงกันไม่อยู่ละทีนี้ Let's go.
So much, and yeah, this is putting question marks between us, right? Because that composition coming out from PaperX has surprised you and me.
Yeah, not so much the swap, but it's the fact we have the Astra in here. I mean, we're still running with this guy on PaperX. Again, there's some dedication towards keeping that here.
Yep.
But it's the Astra. You can switch Mindfreak and Monya between. If this is just something that they pulled out after not being happy with the Lotus here in Madrid, a real head scratcher here.
ใครจะไป A ไป C ไม่รู้กูไป B เลยละกัน
really go because Astra has a lot of utility. Obviously, open up the possibilities, especially on a map like Lotus. Three-site map. PaperX early on probe towards B, but
ปุ่มชิปหายไปจริง
really catch wind of anything on the other side of that. Magnum will spot out the rotation. Yeah, no real progress towards site here, and KC a little bit disconnected from B once again. Looks like PaperX gonna follow through this time.
Oh dear.
Forsaken's
in a bit of a tricky position, but Monier's got the shot on lock. Gonna take down one of the follow-up. PaperX just pull out on the site and win out on the site.
มันเก่งปืนพก
Break for KC there as Narrate just
เรียบร้อย
drifted on.
เฮ้ยเมื่อกี้ไอเดียการใช้ของKC แจ๋วนะนาโนซ้ายขวาใช่ไหมพื้นที่ตรงกลางมีให้ยืนนึงแล้วมันระเบิดไปตรงกลาง
I mean, it's good to really get Eng's
ถ้าไม่ได้หิวน่าจะมีการด้องเกิดขึ้น
ไม่ตายก็เจ็บอะเจ็บหนัก
Now, can you prep? There's not an awful lot you can do other than the age-old kind of play your own game sort of approach. But then when you come out here and there's a different composition, there's another set of question marks. Will not PaperX really even rely on these agents to excel in terms of utility or continue to run it down? Forsaken and something on your front line. You've got to feel very confident regardless of who's on what behind that.
We're looking for that 4-play stack here. Feels like that flash was enough that PaperX don't like what they're seeing, and it's actually quite well timed that they drift away. They will have a completely open A site. They'll note the lack of utility after last round Magnum was there. I mean, it's not the biggest indicator, but now the fact that Forsaken has gone to the back of the site should give it away. Narrate, though, outdoes it with the classic. I do not know, but he'll be happy enough with it. On going to come down now, down to the 4. It is just classics as well for KC. There's nothing beyond that. There's not a frenzy, there's no there's nothing. It is purely classic, so something going to take up the test now as well.
I think they're a little bit conscious, yeah. Who's post off on Heaven now? Identifying the judges there. Don't expect too many bodies to funnel in this way. They're punished on the side. Yeah, a lot of time bought here.
And something's on the case here, just prowling on the edge of those smokes. Opting to try and clear, to farm through, to try and hunt down these final players. But Magnum again with a connection. Can they make this really costly? It looks like they're going to try and exit through CT, which is the right call. Monnier going to double around. Spots him out, but hey, Comic making this, cost a little bit. Mind Freak and Divide do manage to escape. That Bulldog still in play.
I mean, I think they only lose the judge, though, if I'm not mistaken.
They just got
ตอนเปาโคตรดูดหัวมันเนี่ย
Didn't see exactly what the purchase was, but regardless, something straight onto the operator.
เอาจริงหาไม่หยุดไม่ชินเวลา
In the mix here for Carmine Court. Doesn't really even have the benefit of having the Blade Storm kind of on the brink. Has to make this work. Has Divide got anything? Oh, well, Sheriff now. Drifting really deep onto this angle very early on. No resistance from KC on the other side, unless Magnum was spotted.
Yeah. He was jump spotting that corner earlier.
Yeah.
But, that might have to be taken away from the repertoire. I'm worried that someone else might be going to go. Narrate's very nearby to this. They've noted that operator. No bullets have been fired, but if they'd seen anything, you can't do it. You can see them trying to toy with it. Daring anyone to try and peek a little further forward, but no one is. Good control being shown by Carmine Court. Mind Freak getting very close. Should have been considered here by Narrate, and he has been. Really putting
อารามบอดมันไอ้เนี่ย
A gap towards B here, but Spike not committed either way. So PaperX might resort to that now. I mean, it's only really Shin that's going to be able to cause any issues on the way in here. Narrate slowly creeping closer and closer.
Still not noting this operator.
โอ้สไนแง้มงี้เลยนะ
รุ่นใหญ่ไปถึง
โอ้เช็คทุกมุม
ตั้งแต่แง้มมายังไม่เจอใครเลยเนี่ยตั้งแต่ฐานอะ
วุ้นละนี่
Smoking
เจอไหม
trying to make it across. Does anyone catch it in the
ไม่
middle?
เจอ
No.
ทำนี่
ยังไม่เจอใครครับผม18 วิ
They've got to be careful of door. They've got to be careful of the flank.
ไปไหนกันหมด
considering
ทำติง
how
ง
far
ง
something is cleared towards CT.
Really doing. Unfortunately, now a lot of questions.
ดุ้งเล็กน้อย
The KC need to figure this out pretty quickly.
แหมสโมกให้เพื่อน
A real exchange of utility here as the retake starts to build up something, rattling off a couple of shots, but Forsaken in a fantastic position as well. If he can hold this down,
ชีวิตมันลำบากไงไซส์แคบ
ตอนนี้
ไซส์ก็
try
แค่
and
เป็
maybe
นส
double
ไน
up here with something, but there is the push.
Ui.
And look at these shots just going straight. Can Monnier do anything in a 1v3? Carmine Court flooding the side. Bodies in the right places.
เกรง
Time it
เกรงจัด
well.
ป๊า
They swing back through.
This is one of those situations I was crediting on the first map, really. PaperX will keep pushing. You give them that space, but KC are playing in spawn. They're still in buy phase with 20 seconds left on the clock.
KC ต้องยืนว่ะไปเป็นเล็กจะตื่น
Well, a really, really well coordinated retake. This is after there's
สรุป
a
ส
gravity
ไน
well
ได้
to
กินเลือ
slow
ดไหมเมื่อ
things
กี้
down.
ไม่ได้กินเลย
งงจัด
Don't leave it hanging. Don't leave it.
ตูมเดินมาตั้งแต่บ้านอะมาไกลมาก
moment.
แล้วเมื่อกี้เขาจะชนหมัดเขาไม่ชนกับเพื่อนอ่ะ
It's a vibe killer.
ถืออย่างนาน
Vibes down.
Yeah.
Game's
Hey.
lost.
Yeah, it's wraps.
Let's go, Mike. Pace change, looking like. Committed control towards Mound this time as well. And yeah, look at this. Very pacey. Going to get the first real glimpse of this C site. Hadn't tested too much. And again, KC going to evacuate. Why would they stick around? They've heard enough of this.
มีมันเที่ยวยิงหมาแม่งเลยบาซูก้าลูกนี้
But look at that big flank coming out from Monnier.
โอ้โห
His timing could be
เจ็ดเลนลูกซองคนละกระบอก
to hold a fair amount of this space for it to really come to fruition.
ตีไงอะ
Could be a nuisance in the backlines here.
เดี๋ยวโดนดูดอีก
something
An operator versus a judge. Actually, Monnier pulls
เฮ้ย
the trigger
โอ้
at just the right
เสียว
time.
Love seeing something swing as well, just to make sure it goes their way. The last two being herded.
เข้าใจว่ามันเป็นจัด
Nowhere to hide. Narrate gonna try and bully his way past, but it's not
ได้
just
หรือ
one.
เปล่า
The whole team's gonna be here.
เอาไป
Someone
ก่
can
อ
be
น
careful, doesn't want to lose the operator, but they're hunting him down now. The hunter becoming the hunted. As Tomasi
โอ้ย
falls.
หลายกระบอก
It
เกิ
looks
น
like that
แล้วหัน
operator's
กลับมาเล็ง
made
ครับ
its way
ตั้ง
out. At
ท่า
least until now
ประ
the
กบ
door
แนบแก้ม
broken earlier, I believe it was.
กันไหนใจ
Something
โอ้ยัง
วิ่งต่อครับวิ่ง
Try to get away,
ตั้ง
Narrate.
ใหม่
Gotta be careful though.
กันหาย
There's
ใจ
the
ลา
rest
ก
of the
เล็ง
squad
เข้า
in
ไป
now. And PaperX with that pace change
เฮ้
working
ย
out
หลบ
that C
เฮ้ย
side.
เสียว
กระบอกนี้น่าจะไม่ดีอะซัมติงต้องเปลี่ยนว่ะ
ผมว่าสูตรมันเบี้ยวอ่ะเหมือนปืนจุดตรง
เอ
ปลา
อ
อะไร
มันต้องไปจูนใหม่หรือต้องเปลี่ยนกระบอกนี้
ปืนไม่แปลกๆงงอะ
สวัสดีครับพี่คนเจ้าชู้
เอ้าหัวหน้าสมาคมคนเจ้าชู้สวัสดีครับเป็นอาเทน่า
สวัสดีครับพี่สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีทุกคนได้ครับ
สวัสดีครับพี่หัวหน้าสมาคม
เฮ้ย รู้ว่าจากใครครับรู้แล้วพี่ผิดมาหรือเปล่าล่ะคนเด้
เปล่าครับพี่พี่ไม่ได้บอกอะไรเลยครับ
Casey looking to get the hell out of Dodge.
You just can't aim duel against these guys. You just, even in a fair fight.
มันจบหรือยังครับพี่เอ๋ยคิดว่าไงครับ
จบแล้ว2-0
They've already started to make that progress towards A.
หมดลุ้นแล้วสิ
Better off in the weaponry and
เฮ้ย
getting Monye.
อะไรอ่ะ
Overwhelmed though. Magnum gonna get one back. That could be a weapon
User
potentially
disconnected
recovered.
from your channel.
Something on the case to keep control of it, and that's gonna allow time for the plant to come in. Narrate still has that rifle, but that's about it. Beyond them, Stinger in play. Oh, that's rough. Not what he wanted there. Not what they wanted at all.
Something gets pinged off that as well. Forced back off that angle, but KC still need to get through this choke point.
และถ้าเป้ามาแก้มแนบหลังกล้องตรงนี้เจอเป้าแล้วยิง
ตัวเป็นที่ปืนศูนย์ไม่ดีกระบอกเนี้ย
ผมก็เคยเป็นตอนผมไปงานวัดผมบอกเลย
มันปืนยิงลูกโป่งเปล่า
คือเล็งตรงลูกโป่งตรงตุ๊กตาแล้วแม่งเป้าไปไหนก็ไม่รู้
เฮ้ยโอ้โหดุจัด
พี่นาเรศ
เฮ้ยโคตรเวอร์
พี่นาเรศเขามาเล่นอันนี้เหรอต้องหาข่าวเนี่ย
What a swing back for KC. That's all but done when they get held in this choke point.
เขาเล่นนี่ตัวคัด
Magnum
เลย
with a stinger outdoes something. Like I said, another
มันทุกเม็ดอะ
Narrate, I think as soon as he identifies, he's landed that headshot.
กระสุนมันทุกเม็ดอะ
Alex probably not too happy about some of the overcommits here from this post plant. Not at that point where you can just run the clock down, force another 2 or 3 seconds off the defuse.
ยังเป็นสไนอยู่สำหรับซัมติงเพียงกระบอกมา
on its head.
แต่คนละรุ่นครับคนละเจนอาจจะดีขึ้น
Early mountain challenge has not been going particularly well for KC. However, this time they have a little bit more, but does he get caught? Magnum going to find Monye. That was over towards the A side of the map, so this could be working out. Oh, not at all. Actually, Martin going to spot the beat of Forsaken.
ที่มันทันกันว่ะพวกนี้
Eliminated. And that's 2 picks on either side of the map. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're Carmine Core.
Looking to flash through here, but doesn't even catch Martin unaffected.
นักยิงเป้าบินทีมชาติ
Paint shell's perfect as well. To slow Mind Freak down.
จังหวะแก้ตัวมาแล้วครับ
เฮ้ยมาแล้วหนึ่งแนบแก้มลำกล้องแล้วยิงไป
Something
ตัว
to make up for what has been a dreary start for him.
แนบมาแล้ว โอ้โหนี่ตั้งศูนย์มา
Way to begin it, and suddenly they're
บอกนี้ตั้งศูนย์มาใหม่แล้ว
Just went from okay, take a fight to hold on, it's still something.
ปั๊บ
Let's relax here a little bit. There's 2 players on CT.
ไม่เล่นเคซี่บอกไม่เล่น
That space does he
คลิกไปตะ
เดี๋ยวเมื่อกี้คลิกทะลุเข้าหัวนี่
เนาะ
he's causing them
จอแดงเลย
a second or 2 of doubt. Plant something that he
30
wants.
seconds left.
No one's playing his tune though. No one's playing to his
In.
game.
โอ้เซ
Problem
ฟ
is
จัด
with Shin still alive. Opportunity to smoke off here, so he has to dig his heels in. Can't really reset towards Mound with an open plant.
He needs
To have the blade storm, he needs to pick early.
ถ้าเก็บอีกหนึ่งเปิดมีดคัดเลยนะ
As disciplined as we credited them, they shouldn't.
แกมแนบลำกล้องมาจังหวะนี้ติดสโมก
Issues.
Yeah,
Can you see
there
under
we
it?
go.
No, he can't.
I thought he might have had a little bit of a pixel there, but trying to play to the edge of it. And now they're grouping up.
Oh,
Oh my god, he's got the pick. Hold on! This is game on. Something.
โอ้ยหยิบปืนมาถูกกระบอกแต่หยิบมีดผิด
Keep
กระ
that
บอ
heads
ก
up
ผิด
work,
อัน
playing together and getting the defuse. Scoreline all even.
You see again winning out in the early round. Very
โรง
early
งาน
pick
นี้
onto Monye.
มีดเป็นไงได้คุณภาพไหมป๊าป๊า
Really hinders that sort of
น่าจะ
slow
หยิบ
play
มีดทำครัวมาเมื่อกี้
post plant.
หูช
มัน
นแม่
ฟลิ
ง
ก
จัด
ด้วยนะ
Martin though,
เออ
looking really crispy with the operator.
ยิงไวจัด
Something unfortunately overwhelmed a little bit here. After finally managing to get the plant down, we also
Nice
see an early
try, Cap.
timeout from PaperX. See, Alex
นึก
wasn't
บอก
too
คุย
happy
ก่อน
in one of the post plants. That loss over on A side to Narrate. Curious if this overall is the approach that the PaperX want to take with this sort of comp switch up. problem being Divide just becomes
มีคนมาแข่งรายการเนี้ย
I don't want
อ
to
เล็
say
กคุ้มสุด
useless
ละ
but his
ทุกทีมอะ
impact is really limited in
ทำไมล่ะ
this sort of kind of
ได้ซีน
slow
สุดละกล้องจับ
late
บ่อยสุด
rounds. It's
โค้ช
not
คนอื่นไม่เห็นจับขนาดนี้
really going to cause too much pressure unless PRX
Emotion เยอะสุด
early on towards Mound, early on towards Rubble, get themselves towards a site. And maybe Munya is on Astra to kind of counterbalance that.
ต่างอยู่นะ อารมณ์
But
โค้ช
again,
ใน
it's
จอ
just
ใหญ่
a lot of these questions I feel like get
โค้ช
answered
ฝั่งหนึ่ง
with
ยิ้ม
one time in
แต่โดน
practice
นำไป
and
หนึ่ง
kind of
เกม
find
แล้ว
a way to work it out. But I don't know how much they've played this. I mean,
ขนาดได้วินยังจะทุบเลย
I
เลย
don't know if they've been running it behind the scenes. If this is
จะชนะอยู่แล้ว ทุบ
something they thought might work. Their traditional comp wasn't going to be the answer they needed. But
ใช้กลับบ้านครับ
this
ผมวัน
point
นี้
is I mean, it's a credit.
พี่นาเล่มีอันติด้วย พี่แม็กนัมก็มีอันติด้วย
I mean, it has worked to an extent. Maybe you have to see how that works out now. As it looks a simplistic start, but great paranoia actually should facilitate them to the site. I don't think much is going to stop them here, apart from their own paint shot, but even then, something fancies his go of it.
โอ้โหอะไรวะน่ะ
And look at this tempo change. Look at this. No plant, but
Wala,
they
yun
draw
lang.
out the lockdown so early. Now going to go for this. Divide's going to go through.
แล้วพี่มอนโดน
And Martin's the one to find Monye. So that lurk's been removed, and they're going to dive on in.
Oh, he didn't get caught with the
Oh!
stun.
Oh,
That was huge.
Long leg,
That's
buddy.
3 in the round. 2 off the rocket, and now Martin, can he do any more? He's feeling it. He wants more. He's chomping at the bit. He wants some dead. Magnum.
เอ้า
gonna
ไม่มี
take down for
กระสุนไม่มี
do something. Has to
วางยา
Hughes comes in. Carmine calls for it, he's prepared.
0-0ดิเหี้ย
What a round for Martin again.
เมื่อกี้กดคลิกเมาส์จมเลยผมว่านะ
Get past that Trailblazer. I'm not sure. Did he pick up an empty
เอ๊ะทำไมกดไม่ออก
It looked like there's a little bit of a delay, but again, KC figuring out exactly what PRX want to do
มาทีมบอก
with Monya on
ไอ้
the
เหี้ยโดน
Astra.
คุมกำเนิดไอ้สัสกำลังเกิดเลยเมื่อกี้
The thing is what's the second layer to these post plants? If it is kind of tailor-made around Monya, buying time, PRX aren't really achieving what they need to make that work.
Martin and Shin, and good to see Martin finding a bit of comfort here. He's been not quite to the extent of what we saw online, or at least I say online, in the kickoff tournament. He was very much not, I wouldn't say headline. You'd give that to narrate, but he was right underneath him, very close by. Good to see a little bit of that form starting to really kick in here for him.
โอ้ดิโอ้ดิเดียเออยู่
And
ดี
a quick adjustment for PRX, eyeing up that A site after an early test towards Mount. And away they go. Forsaken going to be cut off
ไม่
at
เก็
the
บแล้ว
ball
เจ
though.
สันบอก
And a
โดน
quick
สแปม
adjust. Looking to potentially pressure. Maybe gets the timing right on this. They are all going
โอ้
to
มีอันติ
VCT.
พี่นาเรศกะอันติเลย
Right here to post the nightfall.
1 2 3
And wait and see that pressure
Yeah,
come back.
Spike's still
Oh.
not planted.
No, and something is
ไม่รู้ว่าดอก
screwed.
Oh.
Magnum clears him
Ui.
with ease, and Forsaken finally
สามมีอัน
strikes.
ติไง
But the rest of the team took a moment to back away, but it's Narrate on the punish towards Monye. They're losing out on numbers. Forsaken can only find so much impact, surely.
ไปวาง
They
บอม
need to
อื่น
scramble away from here.
ต่อไปไป
It
ทำ
might
เปล่า
act as a hindrance
ออกไม่ได้ด้วย
to can hold this.
Now there's massive question marks
Well,
outside.
am I
of
seeing?
All
members of KC.
They're flying through.
Oh.
Martin finds Mind Freak, and that spike is over on C. It's going the longest way possible. So you're gonna need Forsaken
ต่อไปเอาอัน
to
ติก่อน
find so much.
10 seconds left. Divide will get Seekers off this. Still has a flash to work with.
Forsaken needs so
โอ้
much here.
เจสัน
ตาไวกดอันติเจสันอันติตาม
He's gonna hear him this time. Shy.
โอ้โห
อุ้ย
โอ้โหเร็วมาก
เทรด
Martin was
เทร
so
ดไว
quick
จัด
with the
ที่มัน
response.
โอ้โหบ้าจัดอะ
Divine next. In
Ui.
line here. Jump on the first to draw the fire. Falls back. Flash. Buys a second. They've still got to clear him. Does he get noted? Yes, he does. Oh, he's dead to
Yeah.
rights. Carmine Course showing diligence
โอ้
now.
สมาธิมันดี
starting to
จัด
really
อะ
get a
ไอ้
grip
มา
on
ตีนอะ
PRX.
This is rough. Timing a little off. I guess the synergy a little off between Divine and Forsaken here.
Yeah.
Forsaken commits to that early peak. Yes, the showstopper. You almost want them to
เจสัน
come
แม่งดักยิง
into
แค่นิดเดียว
this
เอง
choke point here.
โดนเทรดไวจัดเลยนะ
มาก
Out towards KC's spawn.
อยากเห็นเลย
Maybe a little bit lost in comms there, but beautiful recovery from KC. It looked like
โอ้
they were
เล็งไว้อยู่แล้วรู้ว่าจะต้องโดน
initially, but
สะบัดมือชนจุดสงสัยเจ็บ
want Ultimate really to want to give them access back onto A side. I'm carrying on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There.
You?
There's some temptation, but no, you're right, because look at this start. Look at Forsaken. Right off the rip.
เกือบเจอ
Trying to get the
โอ้โห
shut Forsaken the hell up. Not even going to get a voice line off, let alone the ult. And now what do they do? They've lost out on that early chance. You're down to 4. Something's position's going to be noted. Already early rotation from Narrate.
ไม่แปลกที่หมดยุคเอมราติกับนาวีในอีมีไปแล้วโดน2ทีมนี้
ฟาติก็โดนไปแล้วเหรอ
โดนหมดแล้วนาวีก็โดน
ว้าว
This first half. Magnum potentially be called by
มันเห็นพอดี
on the cross something. Maybe the dash across though. Unscathed so far.
โหดกว่าแบบโหดกว่าเดิมอีก
Uncontested. One yet disconnected once again.
2-0 ฟาติด้วยเหรอ
ไม่รู้คะแนนแต่โดนอ่ะ
โดนเฮเนติกมั้งเฟนติก
Exceedingly late, so putting a lot of faith in the boys on the side. They can hold back this flood that's coming in right about now. One trade, but it's not enough considering they're down to 2. Narrate sweeping through. Freak bites right back, and now Monye needs to come forward here. Needs to be part of this. Narrate down low. Mind Freak toying with the TP. Monye can't hit the shot on the cross, and now it's all on.
Oh!
โอ้ในทราย
หมุนยาวเลยหมุน
Really tipped the scales here, Mike.
PaperX really struggling. I mean, this almost has sort of echoes of the approach Fnatic had versus PaperX on this map. Concede all the space, happy to play the retake, and PaperX were just left scratching their heads in that series. Carmine Court look like they've taken a leaf out of that book.
One enemy remaining.
เป้าเขาวางแบบ
Typically you credit
ตำแหน่งคือแบบ
ability to convert space into success. And this sort of play style not really the approach to make, but PaperX really struggling.
They are.
Second time out called. Round 10.
Says quite a lot, just that in a fact, right? So, again, when we talk about this map-wise, it did sit quite nicely with Carmine Core. We credited them very highly on this map. This is one that kind of put them not necessarily on our radar, but it very much solidified what a lot of people were looking at. But the fact, as I said, that they're doing this to PaperX after what was a very good first map, this has got to be a huge confidence builder for Carmine Core and kind of bringing them back to where they should be mentally. Because a lot of us kind of discussed this coming into this event as well. If they don't start off with a confident beginning, they could lose a little bit of that I guess faith in the calling and executing the plans they've come up with, but so far it's looking absolutely on the money here. This could certainly spur them on as they go forward. But the timeout came in, a couple more rounds to play with, and a full purchase here for PaperX.
With the TP for Shin. 3 off the showstopper. Again, Martin not really been relying on that too much with how he's been hitting. Equator definitely a more valuable investment in his hands than something so far. Bit of a pace change here. PaperX, no secrets about this on the way in. No slow creep.
First time it feels like all 5 are actually working towards something. Normally Monye was disconnected, but this time they're playing somewhat close to the pack here. Plan's going to come in. You can see Magnum creeps a little closer. Prowler going to come through. They know Narrate's nearby. Massey still up. Flash there. Something trying to play ahead. Does really well with that. Takes down to Massey and wants a bit more, but he's not going to be able to get back up that rope here. Forsaken going to be forced away as well. They're still trying to stand their ground. Almost belligerent in approach, but it's divided by Magnum. Forsaken to answer one right back. Can they sweep the site? Narrate what you got for us now. You pulled off a 1v3. This is a lot though. And he ain't got much time with this one.
เฮ้ยมันสู้อ่ะพี่
Hang on. Still got back down up here. PaperX think he's saving.
มีดึงขาจากพี่ม่อนแต่จะตัดปืน
Regardless on the spike. Looking to do some further damage to the economy, but
จิตใจทำด้วยอะไรวะ
อุ้ยไอ้หมอนี่
จิตใจทำด้วยอะไรวิ่งมาตัดปืนมุมโห
ดีนะซัมติงมันแบบว่าติดนิสัยชอบโดดเป็นลิงอยู่นะก็เลยแบบ
ไม่งั้นจะโดนโบกรถแน่
Yeah, we haven't seen this sort of play coming out so far.
เกือบโดนกระชากหัวกับ
The real thing to notice is PRX have forced back in their shells a little bit.
Which is strange.
Yeah. Again, you can read this pretty well. It's like, yeah, as 5, they're sitting back, they're in CT, they're getting ready to retake. Usually, PRX will be like, cool, let's send 2 people in there. Let's throw a flash in there. Let's get a little deeper. But we haven't really seen
วางระเบิดตักมา
โอ้โหตึงเลย
Okay.
ไม่รอด
You are lucky to be alive, Forsaken. That looked like it was about to be wrapped. Come on.
คนรับกรรม
Still good for it. Then just take it straight up, aim duel.
ตอน
Just
แรกไม่
stand
โดน
here
โดน
and
เป้า
fight
สอง
อุ้ยคมเหมือนกัน
มัน
เนี่ย
บอกงง
Which team is which? It almost felt like it was
Ui.
PRX doing that sort of
อุ้ย
stuff.
เจ็บ
Gotta be careful.
9 HP. And he was the last line of defense on this A site. A quick TP, but look who's reading it. Magnum. Great.
Oh my god.
No idea.
มารอแบบ
Magnum
มาร
just
อ
reads
แล้ว
it
ดิ
like a
มารอดิ
รู้ว่า
I mean,
มัน
there's
ฟีจะเล่นอย่างนี้
almost
ก็
an
เลย
eternity
ร
that
อ
passes after these seekers identify where Magnum is.
Divine, this is tough. Shin's vulnerable, but now you've got Magnum with his entirety of his setup here. Spike, this position. Divine can't cross this without being spotted.
โหคอนแทคกันแบบ
26 HP as well.
รู้เลย
There it is. Paranoia getting prepped. A little bit of pre-fire, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, bye-bye. Divide. Gonna go for the dog here. Couldn't quite close the gap though. No, falling away from that close angle, but still 3 seconds. I think he knows this one. Yeah, just slip through the fingertips here.
I'm not sure if I missaw that, but I thought the seeker went to the left. It's invested from rubble. Obviously, Shin took a ton of damage inside tree, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a chance to see that on the replay, but the timing's just way off here. I believe if the door's broken, yeah, Magnum's broken the door. So I don't know if that information's just lost in the exchange or what. But a real gamble to take
หรือ
this
ว่า
TP
เครื่อง
all
กำลัง
the
จะ
way
ติด
towards
สำหรับ
C site.
คาไมล์คอลอบ
Well, you see, we do have any replay of that. It may not be the case.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happens here because I was focused on it. Well, I've missed it there.
Yeah.
I know Shin took a ton of damage inside tree. Maybe they're thinking, yeah, we've tagged up the A site player, so surely Magnum's gonna commit towards helping his teammate.
Right, yeah. The critical issue there. Hey, Magnum! They're just taking mad challenges! Carmine Court, this is very out of character, but it's worked very well. Completely surprising PRX with a change of pace, taking a somewhat late duel over by Mound. And it worked very well for themselves. Shin on fire, they're taking down Divide. Monye, noted. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to run on that.
เอาอะไรไปรอด
You've seen real different shades of this team in this half alone.
Yeah, and winning out in that sort of round where PRX are looking to get feisty, get up in your face, take an engagement. Squashed. And KC happy to throw bodies on the line.
Let's go! Let's go, boys! Energy into it.
Definite. Yes, energy booster, confidence booster for Carmine Court.
And now a chance to listen to one of the players who's really stepped up here, Martin.
แต่พี่บอกจบ 2-0 เหรอ
Hello, I'm Martin, and I'm for Carmine Corp. Even though we know we can win against anyone when our form is good, it's just not there at the moment, and I think the whole team is not feeling the well. We are not playing at the same level as we did in kickoff, and the team play and comms are just not on the spot. And then honestly, we just choked. So I think that Magnum obviously is a new IGL, but he's learning very fast, and I think his calls are very good. I don't think he fell short from John QT. I think it was a
แม่ต้องดูตอนกัน
Look at the
better than that.
15 seconds less, 10. Just no chance, surely.
Anything taps it's hoping that a few of these players will be out wide and open. Unbelievable! This time!
คัดนี่หว่าช็อตนี้จำได้เลย
Unbelievable!
seconds available. Celsius is miles away. The Nightfall going to confirm that he's not playing towards Rubble. Narrate 9 bullets.
For me, as a duelist, I just need to not do stupid stuff, even though I'm having a bad game. I still need to make space and calm. If I ever don't do that, then the game is very hard for the others. So I think it's just me being calm because it's just another match. People shouldn't think that it's death or do match because it just adds on the pressure. It's just about us not having the greatest team play right now, and we're trying to work on it.
Eight to 4, Carmine Court showing us a little of what really enamored us with them during that kickoff phase. Those retakes being very, very solid. Starting to see some of that individual flair coming out from not just Narrate, but also Martin as well. Some great reads from Magnum, a lot of those key elements. Now, on the other side here, flipping the script a little, PRX, it felt like a last-minute change coming in with this comp. I'd be happy to be proven wrong if they say, hey, no, this is where we intend to be, but it didn't quite land where I wanted it to.
No, and I think there's an opportunity to really, I guess, demonstrate it in the second half here, but it feels like in the mid-round, these slow, drawn-out rounds where KC are happy to concede space, not use any utility, they're always going to win out. You see, now Carmine Court are going to approach.
Calling my bot.
Get themselves up mound pretty quickly. The rest of PRX making their way past Rubble right now.
โอ้ย
เจ็บจัด Monyet to just disconnect, but
ก่อนจากให้1 เม็ดเข้าที่หัว
Maybe a little posture.
เรียกว่าค่าผ่านทาง
Look a little more threatening than he is by a couple more seconds, but that flash should be noted.
It's an open pass, so KC looking to
แล้วมอนยิงถูกคนด้วยดิยิงตัดมาตีนไป
Yeah, the turret's been dealt with quickly. They should have an idea that everyone's here. They've seen 3 different pieces of utility, and they're just going to flood CT. Already something's going to catch Shin. Can they try and disrupt these final players? It's going to be a playthrough back on short as well. Magnum going to be flashed off the angle. You can already see the smokes be coming up here. The diffuse going to be starting. They'll get denied. It's going to be dragged away. Monye.
เป็นเรื่องโคตรเก่งผม
มีเลยเหรอ
No way.
โอ้ย
จะไวปืนหมด
Come off it. You got 5 rounds. Relax.
อันนี้อะไรคุมไม่ได้ครับ กูไม่มีลูก ใช่ปะ
It's always the
มัน
same.
ไม่ทำมีต้องมาชักกระสุนหน้าสมูกแล้วอะมันคือทำมีต้องวิ่งไล่เพื่อนยิง มันจัด
The crazy thing is, it always almost looks like that's the plan, that's the call. Somebody's saying that. Like, I've got to reload. Oh, I'm going to knife him. I'm going to knife him.
Look at him. Look at him. Screaming. I can't believe it.
ตาไวโดนพันสวนด้วยนะ
That's how they kick off the second half.
Oh no, I'm nervous now. They're just going to do PRX things like... Hello.
กูสแปมแม่นจัด
I've seen unconfirmed, but a ton of damage. That's a Monyet.
เฮ้ย
เอ้า
หายแล้ว
Smoke out something?
I don't know. He looked lost in the source. Monye, fortunately, though, going to make up for it and kind of bail out the play door as well. This is... Sure, Mike.
ผู้บรรยายเมื่อ
I'll
กี้
leave you to the...
There's action coming now.
No, look, it's time.
Plant's going to come through. Martin looking for something.
something บอกกูเลิกเล่นออมเล่นปืนนี้เดียว
It's going to happen. Yeah, find something on the other end of it. The right post up close to it. Just yet could do some damage.
And again, good damage. Oh dear. Falls to divide. These rounds are getting weird. Shin left in a 1v2. Can he make something out of it? He might just be able to. Something with a judge and Shin with a dream. He knows it. He knows he's close by. What the hell can Shin do? Oh, nice.
เรื่องหมุนเมาส์นี่ต้องยกให้มัน
เมาส์อย่างไวไง
It just cleared about 8 different angles in half a second here. It's such an awkward spot here.
เล่นบนล่าง something มันถนัดอยู่แล้ว
But yeah,
บนล่างซ้ายขวา8 ทิศได้หมดอะ something บอก
he's out in the middle of nowhere.
finish move สักที
Must be just come out of sending a smoke somewhere. So it looked like he was reloading. But that was him just pulling back.
ลอยด้วยนะ
Hold on.
สเปคบาร์ค้าง
Yeah, that was really weird on B. I don't know what happened.
มอนเหงื่อแตกเลยร้อนอ่ะ
That whole round was just...
กดดัน
You know, all out there. 8 to 6.
Carmichael looking to continue pressuring towards.
หรืออาบน้ำมาวะ
A switch up, something on the other side of this.
I feel like something's going to do some nasty work here.
He's hanging around.
Yeah, okay, just...
Get out!
Yay, run.
Get out!
What the hell is going on? a late smoke towards main, but they might just disrespect it. They know they
มา
can.
ไวมาก
Something down a little low, but he's still trying to be ferocious about this. Shin trying to play ahead of it, but it's Magnum to find it. Oh, Monye with a belting shot on Martin. Still going to find value even just with that Sheriff. Where the hell's the rest of the squad
นี่
though?
โบนัสใช่ปะ
For a crunch back through the door here, potentially. KC in the danger zone. As soon as this opens up, though, it's a two-way street.
Magnum could get played in on this.
ไม่น่ารอด
Shin
เจ
with the
สัน
spam
นี่ไง
to catch him. And now the odds are looking less and less likely for PaperX to close that gap, but you can never write these guys out. Shin just controlling on the site, though, really keeping a firm grip. Magnum denies the door. And the options for Mind Freak have pretty much dissipated for those last couple of kills.
Yeah, and going to be weird coming out of this round as well, because it's Monye and
didn't
Divide
go
to have some credits left in the bank, but Casey's
เอา
round
วันหนึ่งนี่
here
เซฟคุ้ม
always
เหรอพี่
gives
เลย
them
คุ้มปะน่าจะคุ้มแหละไม่งั้นมันไม่
a
เซฟหร
huge
อก
opportunity
ได้อยู่นะ
to double down on this. Knocking on the door of double digits as well. First ult cycle just about coming on for a few members of Carmine. So yeah, narrate 2 away, Shin 1 off the TP. Magnum and Martin about halfway. With something expecting to have the Blade Storm at least here, buying down to 550, and looks like actually, considering throwing everything in here, it's Forsakenness to concern that far away from the showstopper as well. He's only got a Sheriff. Switch up here from KC though.
Good luck, Divide. There is hightailing it away, which is probably the right call. Now, if you're Carmine Core, you're still going to do somewhat of a diligent clear. You can't be too lackadaisical about it, but there's a pace to them. They want to get this early starting quite quickly. Going to note the player towards topside CT. There is a lot more there now. Narrate, though, going to take away something. He's just holding the line. He's willing for a fight. This guy's almost welcoming the fight. They haven't gone for the plant yet, so this is getting a little dicey, but they're holding.
กำลังจะกดคลิกอยู่แล้ว
I know that PaperX is going to try and retake the site here, but it's punished. It's picked apart by
โอ้โห
Carmine.
ล็อกไว้ทุก
And it's a
ทาง
flawless round to find double
ไม่
digits.
น่ารอดเกมนี้
The money coming into question now for PaperX. We know there's no timeouts. There's no opportunity to take a breather. Carmine Core really starting to dial up the pressure here.
Well, I feel like this echoes back to almost our starting point of this entire matchup. It's the question of form.
ยัง
See
ยัง
what
ไม่ถูก
PaperX
ดีกว่า
can look like in
เก็บ
map
มือ
1
แล้ว
when it's terrifying, when they are in that full fight and flight mode, just flying at you across the map. And here, missing a little bit in that regard, whereas KC starting to hit towards where they'd want. Late swing comes out, and they're hunting them down. Already PaperX not going to take the foot off the gas by any means. Didn't get the connections they want. Also, this drift from... Vice got to be careful, though.
Yeah, no chance to get that weapon cycled across. Should have a ton of information of how much
ปืน
presence
ก็บอก
there
เดี๋ยว
was
มาช่วย
towards.
เก็บ
PaperX
4 คน
haven't necessarily rotated just yet. But now, actually, yeah, the rifle is retrieved. So Monye has that in hand now.
And with the loss of Magnum, there is a chance for some of these flanks to work, maybe, but they've decided against it, right? Opting against. Side's going to get cleared. No one there. Backfilling that space, though, you're going to see something try and maybe thread the needle, but look at the spike. Look where it's heading.
Hook, line, and
Great
sinker.
read. Great
โย
read here.
กหลอกใช้ทุกอย่าง
PaperX
หลอก
have
มา
taken
สิ
the bait. And enough time will pass here where they have a chance to at least get back on as long as KC are quick about this fight. Yeah, finally coming through an open
แล้ว
path
ทิ้ง
towards
โอเมน
Mount.
ไว้เหมือนเอามาส่ง
And plenty of opportunities.
info.
Shin now in a position to play spoiler. A glance from something.
ค่อยๆคืบคลาน
4 through door, though. That's a lot of players there. Martin this time in the position Magnum was in before, but again, they don't have the weaponry to really close this down. You can see that late look does get handled, but they've had no success where I'm just eyeing up Monye.
อุ้ยอันติ
Hold on, I'm eyeing up Monye. What is this man up to? He's got to beat Martin, and he's got to do it fast. Yeah, absolutely
สวย
not.
จัด
What is the plan here? There's no time for this.
เฮ้ย
This feels...
สวย
เฮ้ยไอ้วิ่งยิง
พูดทันมากพูดทันมาก
No.
Close, but no cigarette.
Oh.
Yeah, not even. I thought it was
มีให้เห็นเหมือนกันมาติน
I was like, yeah, no, he's like a second off here. Huh?
กูไม่ทัน
KC find 11 though.
Bloody hell,
Yeah.
what a game. This is... Got a little close, didn't it?
Yeah. A little touch and go. I mean, if anything else happens here, there's Martin to fall first.
หลอกโคตรเนียนเลยอะหลามเลย
Right. Go back in, this time with the buy though. Just coming up for PRX, but still, it's sticking the landing. That's been the hard part. TP gets taken and committed to, so you're going to have Shin towards CT. He can confirm site's clear.
แล้ว KC โดนใครลงมาใส่ล่างนะ
Seeker's going to come through as the answer as well. So Blanc going to be going down uncontested.
ใช่เหรอวะ
Pressure's going to be coming back.
โดนเซ็น
Paranoia, a little off kilter. And Shin will punish.
อุ้ยโลกแปด
โอ้โห
Shin is just unleashing.
โอ้โห
Stunning from Shin.
โคตรบ้า
เยอะมาก
Full control in CT.
เป็นโดนเซนติเนลไม่ใช่เคนจิ
A bit more, didn't he? But something gonna quell that aggression.
เซนติเนลที่ระเบิดฟอร์ม
Puts him into a 3v2, but again, they don't have step to sight. They don't have the ability to clear these deeper position players. And I wonder if Magnum might have caught an audio cue or two there. But still, this is looking like 12. Carmine Court. Maybe giving us a game here. Hoping map 3 could be that highlight between these two. As Narrate does take away Mind Freak. There's just no mercy in these players. After map 1, after what was being done to them, they've come back with an answer.
But a much more convincing map victory, it will feel like as well.
Yes.
I mean, Eng saying, you know, yeah, you don't know what to do. We don't know what to do versus a team like this. We've never been tested like this. To still come out of map 1 with a 13-10 and then play like this on Lotus. You've got to be feeling fantastic.
Puts faith back in the system, doesn't it? Stepping up to the plate here. This map, you could argue, was one of the crowning jewels of their map pool throughout regular play, but still, actually might get a bit of a fight here. First time we're seeing a bit more pressure put in by PRX over towards this rubble side. So Carmine Core may not get the complete run of the house.
มาแล้วอันตีไหม
Oh my god, there's a lot of
โอ้โห
Only gonna get
so
one.
much damage.
เอ้า
โดนเด้งตัวเอง
แปดแพ็ค
Martin, yes, left low. Narrate down low. And
เดิน
something's
หนักจัด
behind them. Martin, excellent work from him. Heads up work from Martin. And now there was one. Monye with a judge.
with
and
the
3
judge.
players.
Yeah, not going to get played in either.
No.
Have to try and recover a weapon here. Fully reset for the 1v3 elsewhere. And Martin down to 56, Narrate on 42.
เฟดยังมีของครบไวเปอร์มีนติของครบ
Right read on this as well. He's going to be in a position
Left
pretty
me lot.
close by when this plant does come through.
Yeah, he's not a million miles away. That doesn't really help matters for him.
No, he's going to be on the outside of it though.
เฮ้ย
เอาแล้วหมุน
เอาแล้วหมุน
จังหวะนี้ครับ สวย
Where did that just go?
I don't
Wait.
know. Monye's got him played in here. That's
แล้วหมาไม่เจอได้ไง
And
วะ
now there's problem. Oh,
โอ้โหมาทีม
He's caught him. He just got a grip on him at the end there. Because there was a window of chance, Mike. But 13-6. Carmine Core are in the server. We might actually have a game on our hands. I want this to go to the distance. I want it to be a damn good map 3.
ความเดือดจัด
We
มัน
definitely
จั
do,
ด
Lauren. I mean, Narrate and Martin, the two to really step up, stretch their legs on this map too. And like I said, if you're KC, you've got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah, let's find out how this goes. Map 3 unlocked and on the horizon.
โดนแล้วมั้งเนี่ยกูเนี่ยKCเขามารยาทดีแบบว่าไม่มีเล้าไม่ยืนไม่อะไรทั้งนั้น ไม่เล่นกับบัฟไง KC เขาไม่แบบว่าไม่บลัฟไม่ยืนไม่อะไรเลยวะพี่เอ๋ยเป็นผู้เล่นมารยาทดีKC เด็กดีทุกคนน่ารัก
Right? It's now BO1. No, nothing. You got to forget about game one. You got to forget about game two. It's all about what's ahead. Of course, Golden Boy here with Mimi and Kukuka. And I mean, just this game has just been like so topsy-turvy, it feels like. But for Carmine Core, they looked overall damn good on Lotus.
Definitely a recovery from what happened on the first match. Again, again, we see the KC that is very good understanding what is necessary in the map, and also more specifically understanding of how to break this composition that has so many holes. You're playing on a map that has 3 sides with no sentinel. You don't even have a Viper, right? You're playing that double duelist with double controller, but it's Omen and Astra. There was a lot of things that were lacking on that defensive side. The PRX could only surpass by doing one thing, and is being aggressive.
Yeah, I feel like that fundamentally a lot of the issues with PRX come back to this composition. And in particular, I think that Carmine Core called a really excellent defensive side around it. They were playing these really passive style, letting PRX get onto these sites, knowing that they only have that Sky so they have nothing to stall you out once they're into the site, and then setting up and playing these beautiful set retakes. And most of the time, honestly, PRX, they're not the most disciplined team. They're going to be fighting forward, they're going to be taking risks into you, and Carmine Core was capitalizing off of that, and then fighting back in and winning these rounds. Even the last 2 of the half, throwing in some forward aggression to spice things up. I thought this was a beautiful set of calls from Magnum, and I mean, yeah, just look at it. When you have this comp, you just don't have the util to fight back through against these really oppressive retakes. And I mean, the poor guy didn't even know he had no bullets there.
I think there's also the heat of the moment, right? He's pushing with the operator, he's pushing with his ultimate. He gets the kill and he's like, okay, I have my shorty, let me get a kill with this. Shoots onto the other gun, and it's not until the smoke is there.
To me, for me, I got pulled into the allure of PRX. These last two maps we've watched of them.
Right,
last night on Split, this first map as well. These guys are so good. They can run around. They can play any comp. They can kill anyone. They're the best team in the world. And then you remember that they play double duelist, no sentinel, no viper on Lotus, and they're playing one of the best Lotus teams in the world. Yep. And it kind of brings you back down to earth a little bit, right? Because for all of the you get shot, you die, sometimes you get outcalled and you pick a comp that is outclassed by your opponent.
I would love to ask them what made them make this last moment change, right? The go in and swapping things around a little bit on this map and actually taking it this direction. Out of all the directions that it could have gone, why this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, it seemed like the direction that they were going in were straight into the
Ascent,
to the gun, to the bullets of Narrate, honestly.
Directly into Ascent.
And directly to Ascent. But let's talk about Narrate. Young man is going up on that stage right now and really lighting it up. He's currently top fragging in the server across both games right at this current time, and that is what is expected out of this star player.
This guy's been so good. Remember the NA Tier 2 star showing up to EMEA, winning there, and honestly, he's been so good at the International as well. In map 1, playing the Raze, following up off of his teammates' Eurowalls, and here as well, I mean, just ruining Alex's day with some of these clutches.
I am loving this montage because it's just Narrate playing with such an important and key part. The information definite their opponents, and Alex just losing it every single round. There were some rounds that PRX were winning, and Alex was just not happy with it. He was like, no, this was not the way, this was not what I thought. But definitely something that we need to keep in mind is that, okay, that happened, it is over. It is surprising that it has been this one-sided, and I would say both maps have been this one-sided, and still the scores do not resemble it as good. But then in Ascent, I feel that we also have bigger questions for both of these teams, right? Because Casey only played it once during the kickoff, and it was a very funky composition, very much in the PRX style. Yes. That doesn't really suit them, right? So the question is, moving into this third map, what composition are we going to see?
Let's see it. Do they continue with the crazy comp we saw, or do they go to normalcy? No, something different. They're playing a triple initiator comp. We've seen this in the past. DRX ran this comp. In Tier 2 NA, M80 nearly won Ascension playing this comp. It is a very strong composition built off these util combos, and if you're a team not expecting it, it's honestly really hard to play. It's very aggressive, extremity reclears on defense, and very, very strong retakes.
Yeah, exactly. Look at it. The Omen, the Breach, the KO, so much utility. Even Tomasi, right? Everything to help Martin in this situation. Narrate, we know what he can do in all of this initiators, but for me, this map for them is a new frontier. As I'm saying, no Sentinel for either of these teams. Yes, PRX has that Viper.
Well, it's been a comeback already for Common Core on this second map. The squad who impressed everyone in EMEA has made it this far. Now they're in an elimination game. It's either them or PRX for that last spot in the final, in the playoffs.
Darn right, Mimi. It's do or die. Let's see how the chips fall here and who's going to be sent home. Let's send it back over to Hypoc and Pansy for the call.
Yeah, the final map of the series coming up between these two. Only one can carry on forward, of course, it being the final entire map and match itself, which feels ridiculous that we could be losing one of these two. Such high hopes for Carmine Core coming into this, and PRX almost just a legacy team.
Yeah, the seasoned veterans really of this matchup here. Carmine Core definitely
ไม่มั่นใจในเป๊ปด้วยวันนี้แต่ก็นะอาจจะมีอะไรดีๆให้เราเห็นอยู่
And what an accolade it will be.
Oh yeah.
To come out on top in an elimination game.
ไวเปอร์เลยนะเว้ย
Started off slow here, the Prowler will identify presence here. Again,
ไม่เห็นโซว่าในด่านนี้วะแปลกๆอะ
mid-round swing for KC in this composition.
Perfect. But still, they get damage done, to be fair, but it feels like they were able to at least keep some alive. That looked almost like a death wish going through. Sight looking at least able to have a plant towards it, but the pot flash through smoke was so good. Lovely work from Narrate there. Just one left alive. Paint shell could be good, actually. Gonna leave him scrambling. Yeah, there's opportunity, but the one player who's not affected is really Shin. All eyes. Oh, perfect. Come on, you gotta get a bomb. Show me something. I believed for a moment there with the HB.
ไม่ได้ตัว3นี่ตัว4มีลุ้นนะเนี่ย
Wasn't to be. Carmine Core gonna get the first here.
The problem is with this composition, KC have so many opportunities
ถ้ามอนวางได้เมื่อกี้ น่าจะแจกกันติแต่ได้เงิน1,500 ป่ะ
PaperX off
คนละ
guard.
300 ป่ะ
Round one definitely already an indication of that.
โอ้ยเปลี่ยนกล้องเถอะโอ้
Got to have
โอ้
their
ย
wits about them. Like you said, in that chaos, able to get a trade back, but so there's just a ton of utility to work with here. Might be a little bit of an exchange here towards A main. It's orb retrieved here. Monnier. Back on the raise again, and questions about just how turbulent some of these composition changes are.
It must be brutal as a player to be kind of, you know, almost getting whiplash from this sort of back and forth role-wise. But again, Monnier map 1 was exceptional. Really highlight credit to his capability. But map 2, I mean,
ต้องเอาวอลไมพีคมาปิดแบบปืนพกบ่อย
Look where Monnier's got himself into as well. Tucked into market. Mazzy. Good timing on the reveal here. Gonna have his hands full. Gotta be careful.
Yeah. Did he hear anything as he considered it? Yeah, I think he's very aware. No naughtiness here.
Spike planted.
Now, all of the PaperX players are going to be locked on that site.
Here.
โอ้ยปืนนี้
One paranoia. Oh. No uncertainty about that. Forsaken falls. This is just going to get very difficult. They can't really springboard off the back of that utility either. Yeah. Just outgunned, overwhelmed, 5 alive, and a defuse on the board.
โหด
And tough for Monnier, really gets himself into a very dangerous position here, but weaponry and well played Tomazzi to back up, concede once again, which has been the approach time and time again.
ด่านนี้ที่เปเปอร์เล็กโดน EG คมใช่ไหม
Allow this PaperX play style to really fizzle out.
ล่าสุดเหรอ
ที่คมมันเสกแบบรอบของปีที่แล้วพี่
อ๋อ
Throw some weapons in the mix now. Rifles for PaperX. See what they can get done. And proactivity potentially here from KC. Confirmation on the other side now. Martin.
เฮ้ยฝันเทียบเลยอย่างเงี้ยแย่ละแต่ไม่เดิน
Surely, right? I feel like they're not going to continue on that pathing, but a little bit of a glance there from Martin. Not going to see anything, so kind of frees him up in position, right? Store comes in towards short. Shin going to hear enough that he notes there's more than one player here. Not finding some of the players in the corner, but it doesn't matter. Top middle is the end goal. And Martin's waiting. They actually outdo him there. A nice opportunity, but it closes, and Shin just going to try forward. Paranoia lands.
Yeah,
thought he had that one. Not the case. PaperX. 5 standing, couple of them lower. It's going to be Tomasi the first to draw blood. Something on the trade out, and now Narrate sweeps his way through middle.
อุ้ย
Magnum if he can win out here by Forsaken. Now Narrate finds himself in a 1v2.
แล้วของมีเต็มไปหมดเลยว่ะพี่เลือดก็เต็ม F
สบายเน้นยิงหัว
ไม่สู้ไม่สู้
He's been very good, and Forsaken has to.
ไม่ไหวว่าโดนพี่เอ๋ยสปอยเลยช้ากว่าวินึง
No one's on stairs or close by. Considers main now, considers lane. He's going through all those options. Just a flash to try and get him on the cross there, but Forsaken
น้ำหนึ่งไวอยู่
plays patient. You're right, there's respect being shown there and knowing who you're up against.
Only 2 rifles maintained through this, but Monnier, great progress towards the showstopper here. And KC in a position really with some of this utility invested towards short. They know it's a fake. KC know that this is the plan all along. Martin looking to potentially get a little aggressive towards mid.
Tomasi. Time to run, and he's quite alone here. Oh, the backup! Perfect timing from Martin, holding him at the door. This is nice from him. Starting to heat up throughout this series, starting to find his footing. These international events looking much better. Now Tomasi gets to play back in once that pressure got taken away. 3 in this round. 1-4 gets a 4th. Flawless for Carmine Core in map 3.
Martin.
My God. Magnum really the power player in this composition. Going to apply So much supportive utility to both sides in this position towards Fountain, towards Spawn, and another example already. Martin just really coming into his own now.
Oi.
How did you see that last one?
Yeah, you are.
ชิตัวที่4ไม่เห็น
ไอ้จะนั่งตกเก้าอี้ฮาเลย
Don't worry.
So many 4K moments.
Oh no, this game should be fine.
Who was it that fell off at EMEA? Was it Magnum that fell off his chair?
มันมาไอ้นี่เลยอ่ะคำพูดไอ้เมื่อวานเลยอ่ะไอ้ฟอร์ดไหนเมื่อวานอ่ะ
ใช่เหรอ
เป็นจี้อ่ะ
Analyst desk is there for.
เก็บ4ในไซส์ I am so good
Coming in hot. Appreciate you.
มันจี้ไปเล็กแล้วเหรอ
Sign didn't make it in time.
มีคนจี้ไปเล็ก
But there has been a timeout. PRX feeling as though they don't have a grip on this one, and I've got to say, in my mind,
A recurring trend, honestly, of
Yes.
early timeouts.
Yes.
They're almost hitting the panic button, not letting wanting things to spiral out of control.
But also, in my mind, this wasn't a map that I'd really seen Carmine Core lean on throughout regular season.
No, I mean, EMEA, what was it? It was a hard-fought overtime versus Vitality with a different composition, yes.
So
But definitely not something you look at as a comfort pick, but potentially if this is the composition that, I mean, it has a lot of potential.
Yeah. A nasty little comp.
Seen the breach toyed with elsewhere.
Right there.
I mean, 4 rounds have passed, Magnum at 6 assists. You can already see in some of these situations just how much value that pick can have.
I want to see if they start getting a little bit more creative here. Got to be careful in this sort of round though. Narrates really sticking to this fight. Didn't want to back away, but has to be cautious. The sheriffs are out, and that rifle would have been a prized possession to bring into the clutches. But slow work in middle and a pop flash to follow. That's what I like to see. Just that tempered aggression every now and then thrown in. A dash of it. Controls mid and Narrate feeling this. Confident now. Willing to fight and willing to win. Two big picks. Even Mind Freak and Forsaken not really in a position to make much of this. Losing 1 in mid and 2 by A main doesn't give you a great deal of forward play here. Magnum got it too. It was Shin in the end to actually claim it. He's all assists.
Mind Freak, a 1v5 with a Bulldog. Looking like it might be another flawless, and it is.
พอเล่นรัวๆเลยว่ะ
Speaking of recurring trends,
yeah.
Flawless
มันเล่น
so far
3 อินอย่างโหด
by
อ่ะ
KC. Firing that one blip in round 3.
คมทุกคนเลย
Feeling very, very comfortable for them. Ultimate's coming online now for PaperX. Forsaken Monye and something. Divide one off the TP as well, but I mean, the other side, I think Carmine as well. Bladestorm, the null command, something to really shut down a fast execute. Obviously, Monye's showstopper a concern in that regard as well, if Narrate is in range.
And willingness to challenge here. Martin unafraid. Take a little bit of a fight. He does have, of course, Magnum there with him, but it's not just one side of the map, it's both. This is dangerous. And now, Monye's got to know there's something over here. What the hell was that? The paranoia is going to go. Was one of the players ahead of it. I'm waiting to see. Oh my god!
เฮ้ย
สวยจัด
อุ้ยมา
What is going on?
ว้าวมอน
Flies through the air, finds all 3 of them, and the sight
อันตีเอาไว้โดด มอนบอก
can't believe it! This
Yeah.
guy is just unreal. What a
โอ้
round
โห
from him.
A flawless in response.
มาแล้วว่ะ
Come on, actually gets
ฟอร์เรส
popped
คืน
there.
ว่ะ
ระบายสวยจัด
Exact
ระบาย
timing. The showstopper went off, right? Did he get an extra boost in midair from the showstopper being shot down?
Baby, show me this again.
กันครับผม
ถึงจะบายโดนเพื่อนก็เถ
He
อะ
did, yeah, he got an extra boost off it.
อันติเน้นสูงใช่ไหม
That is
เป็น
wild.
สูง
That.
Almost like a second satchel.
Yeah. That laugh is terrifying. That scared me to my core. What a way to nullify that confidence, put him back. Potentially a good position to work forward. Martin just got caught at the end of that.
อยู่นาน
It's
นะ
going
ดิ
to remove his ability to find impact and maybe paint a
กะ
little
เว
bit
ลา
of
ผิ
the
ด
adjustment he was going for on short.
Something will be rewarded here.
แล้วเขาสไนล็อก
And
ตรง
these
นั้น
reclearances
อุ้ยโดนด้วยนะ
through main started around
ชิน
30 seconds
เหลื
in
อ
here.
8
Like you said, KC happy to post up for these fights. Tomazi lucky to get away.
โอ้ยจริงไหลกลาง
Creeping closer and closer. PRX almost
อุ้ยแล้วเอากลางมาให้
sights
ต
here.
วง
Magnum will finally fall.
อยากเป็นแบบซัมติงว่ะมีใจถือสไนเข้าไปบวก
Cleared through here for PRX.
ไม่ต้องยิงขนาดนั้นขอแค่มีใจพอ โอ้โห เอาอุ้ย
Do it again. Something falls away. They've
เอา
opened
เจ๊ง
up
เลย
the
ทีนี้
space here. 3v3.
ไม่ได้อยู่
needs to
โล
fill
สอง
that void, and he does it well.
ฟิกมาแก้ให้
What
ดี
do these players do though? Shin down low, takes it.
โอ้
ไม่เนียนเลย
That probably
มัน
wasn't
กาดแบบไม่ได้ยินไง
Massey
อันติ
just
ไอ้
gonna
เนี่ย
follow suit, falls, and PRX
น้องม่อน
keep
บอก
it
กูหันไม่เห็น
alive.
พอดี
And just springboarding off the back of that flawless round.
They've beautifully done an opportunity to fight their way back in. I think maybe Shin thinking that Tomasi had cut enough audio that he could get away with such a
โอ้รูเล็
TP.
กจัด
Oh, that's where the first comes onto Magnum.
Oh, see that jumping shot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Came straight out of 2021, that peak. Wrong agent.
เฮ้ย
But something
คนลุกเหรอ
still work.
สไปเดอร์เซนทำงานน้องม่อน
แต่มันก็ไม่ได้ยินจริงนะพี่ไม่ได้ยินนะ ได้ยินเหรอ
ไม่ได้ยินโดนอันตินี่อยู่
เฮ้ยดีมันทันเลย
หันไปเช็คแบบ
เพื่อนบอกว่าแบบว่าเพื่อนที่ไม่โดน
อาจจะเป็นเพื่อนบอก
If you watch the regular season so far, at least kickoff, you would know that if there's a call coming that he didn't like from Magnum potentially, or they made a choice before, they didn't quite like the direction they were leaning in, he'd happily try and chime in and offer his opinion instead. And Eng is one of those respected, but it does seem as though it's mostly the players having a chat. Eng's very quiet in this. Yeah, mostly coming out from Magnum
Yeah,
there.
Magnum leading the discussion. And awareness shown here from PRX, the way something's creeping up mid here to try and isolate Magnum all the way in spawn. You see they're trying to rectify the issue. I guess negate some of that mid-round power that they have with this composition.
Well, you noted those 6 assists earlier. He hasn't had one since.
Yeah.
So he's losing a little bit of that efficiency in these rounds in comparison to the start, where he felt almost omnipresent, right? Like everywhere he went, he was finding value. So interesting to see that dynamic shift there.
PRX กู
The approaches for
แต่นี้มันดัน
PRX
ค่อน
get
ข้างที่
spike
จะ
not
กัน
committed, so
ตีได้สัก
it feels as
5
if
ห
it's
รือ
going to be a slow
6
approach
คุ้มอยู่
here.
นะ
ตีได้สัก5คุ้มแล้วดันเนี่ยดันกัน
Oh, wow.
กันที่ไม่เคยเอาไปเปลี่ยนเลย
He's all the way up short now. Boombot will go in, but won't spot
Ui.
the
Ui.
eight, but
Ui.
a wide swing
จัด
will.
นอน
นี่
Caught completely off guard
ผม
by
ว่า
the
นาเล่น
situation.
แม่งเหม่อบูมบอทอยู่เนี่ย
ไม่
แต่
คิด
ว่า
ว่าจะเข้ามาพร้อมบุมบอก
คิดว่าน่าจะแบบว่าบูมบอทจะหันมาเพราะว่าเลย
Invested that, so you're going to
That's
be
a-
off the timing a little, maybe feeling a false sense of security as PRX are just around that corner. Something clearing as he goes.
สายใกล้
Worried about CT, but it's Tomasi close by. That Prowler is
Mahakat
very
kan.
indicative of presence. He knows they're on the way. Baylor!
Ooh.
Martin going to find the mid presence. Monye falls. Tomasi
Hey.
didn't get that timing right. Divide already over towards lane, and the site will be waving PRX's banner as the plant's going to come in uncontested here.
แล้วไมฟีกอยู่
Still
ตำ
got
แหน่ง
somebody disconnected as well. A couple more players, something. The operator posting up here.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
trying to find another pick.
This guy's on it. Gonna lean on in. He needs help.
Ui,
I
kìa.
thought he had that. I thought he might have had it. Forsaken's
Ui,
got a hit up
Kisan,
on a
bị vừa
1v1.
biểnด้วยว่ะ
Forsaken up against Magnum. Forsaken's read him. He's ahead of him.
เรียบร้อย
He's just done him
ของ
in.
จริง
พี่ไปทำไวจัด
Forsaken gonna
ไว้
bring
ใจได้
that
คนนี้
scoreline right back
เอา
up.
ว่ะ
Carmine Core thought they had maybe this map on wrap,
Big
but
goal
it's
tonight from
absolutely
Carl.
not the case. 3 in a row now. Hard to handle the aggression from Monye coming out. The rest of the
Come on,
team
man,
starting
don't
to
kill
heat
it.
up. We're seeing PRX find their footing.
Couple of crucial kills from Martin here. Winning out on that operator 1v1. So just completely caught off guard by Mindfreak's position, I believe. Nonetheless, KC doing everything right on the way back into that retake.
And it's no difference. Rinse, repeat. This time, Martin reads.
สาม
Starting
คน
to calibrate what's going on in these rounds. Starting to assess
สาม
what they're
ค
up
นน่ะ
against.
บายป้าจะไว
Just one attempt, it's 2, potentially 3 more presence on short. Martin. Has he got more? Not this
Ui.
time.
สวย
Shin
มาก
now left wondering, do I swing it, do I wait? But the Prowler goes
Mm.
past.
Take it
หมา
easy.
แบบเช็คซ้ายแต่เอาขวาด้วย
Such good heads
ส
up
วย
work.
จัด
Narrate can
หม
only
ด
do so much.
หมาไม่เช็คแต่คนเช็ค
เดี๋ยวโทรมาสิ
Short again.
หมาไม่เช็คคือกะให้
Something
ตาย
thinks
ใจ
he
เล
picked
ย
up the spike here, but
มันเป็นแผนหรือเปล่า
no,
good.
the
ผมว่า
TP
น่าจะเป็น
comes
แผน
through regardless.
ร้อย
Mindfreak to find the
Mà
killing
à?
blow.
กำไรละไอ้ตอนนี้เท่าทุนแล้วหลังจากนี้คือกำไรครับเล็ก
กำไร
See, putting
มา
Martin
ว่ะพอส
into
ที่
that
มา
position
4 วิ
to
นติด
try and take this engagement, trying to
Adek
counterbalance that early round aggression, but PRX able to follow through.
ลุงบีทเดินมาเหมือนเดินปุ๊บพี่มาหม่งเลยโอเค
Curious what sort of adjustment we'll see from KC when or not they
เล็ก
start
พอแล้วบอก
following through with some of this
ถ้ามึง
utility
ไม่
at the
ยิง
start of the round,
วินนี้มึงอดกิน
denying
ข้าว
some
เหนียว
of
ลา
the
บหมู
space because
จบ
KC have been relying on some sort of indicator. Relying on PRX to show presence first and trying to play very reactive based on Magnum's utility.
สวย
Good, yeah, Monet just sweeps past Narrate, decides there's lots more present on towards short, though that could
โมเมนต์เหรอ
เดี๋ยวอันนี้อะไร
โดดโมเมนต์พี่เลย
door's gonna be
โดด
shut
ไป
in.
เรื่อยน่าจะโดดไปเรื่อย
Put into place.
โดดล่อเป้าอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
อ่ะพี่อเล็กถามอันนี้ว่าอ๋อโมเมนต์ครับโมเมนต์ก่อน
Already in a 5v4, this is difficult to play back
กลัวโดน
into.
พีคไงแบบมันดึงเป้าให้
อุ้ยเขา
Martin's
สี่
found the
ร้อย
open. He's found the
Hey.
second
2 ตัวเลยเหรอ
dividable fall.
ดูเมาส์มา
Hell's
ทีม
advantage now.
Absorbing
Come on,
all
wait,
issues from the.
Hey.
What are you up to? Something! What do you think you're doing?
Ui.
Shin is there!
What?
Converting on towards Mind Freak.
Hey.
Where is this final player? Forsaken! They flood in!
โอ้มาติน
Michael should never have had that
เมาไว
round.
แต่แม่นมาก
มาติน
โคตรคม
Grabs, but
Lừa
Martin
chia.
with a sheriff
Thrifty.
picks apart PRX, converts a MasterCard Thrifty, and ties things up 5 apiece.
And it felt almost frenzied from something to jump back into that.
I mean, he was back on another one of those jump peaks. Again, Mind Freak in a position that's not considered, but strength in numbers here for KC on the back of Martin's heroics.
so good man
And Martin was one of the missing pieces of the KC puzzle inside there.
ไม่เถียง
Weaker
นะ
game,
มัน
we
โซ
had
กู
an
ด
off
จริง
game that wasn't quite feeling the same.
ไม่
We're
เถียง
starting
ไม่มี
to
ใครเถียง
spark a little
โหด
here.
แบบโหดอ่ะ
โซกูดจริงกูยอม
And that was around in a drought. Shin's got to evacuate. Early utility going to force that open engagement. And Martin waited. This guy's been on it. Does he
You're
get another
checking
chance
me.
here? He can't stick
Yeah,
around too
dude,
long.
that
Does
boy-
have to finally relinquish. And well, that was an attempt from Monye, but there's too much presence there.
Hang on, though, the pin comes through onto Shin.
ไม่เป็นไร
เฮ้
อ่ะ
ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Reveals going through, but it's
Oh.
actually great to find the spam. The null command's popped as well.
โอ้ยหูอื้อไปหมดแล้ว อะไรวะน่ะ
Bloody battle, both sides just taking chunks
It's
out of
all
each
on me,
other. It's only Mind Freak left alive, and you're right. There was no
โอ้โห
plot.
1-4
He doesn't even have the time on his side. He's looking for a fair fight, and he's not going to get too many of them. That opportunity probably just slipping away with Magnum now getting support, and Martin just puts the cherry on the cake. KC back in the lead
Last
now.
round before the switch.
As well, Mind Freak's got the pit there. Nobody from PRX able to get the plant down, and obviously once that pit comes through,
ด้านสีเขียว
blanket of security. KC able to get ahead of the curve here. Again, the doors removed so quickly that, was it 3 players huddled onto switch here?
Look like it.
Keep the energy up. Let's go. Come on.
คิวเอ็นจีอัพวะจะอัพวะ
ใช่
Nice stuff.
Clawed their way back in here, and a chance to add
Nice
some quickness
hit
on his head,
KC.
get themselves a 7-5 half. More weaponry available for PRX. Do have
แต่
the
ว่า
bit
ทีม
as
มันตอนนี้
mentioned,
แบบว่า
but
เริ่ม
on
ด
the
รอป
top
ไปแล้วแบบคอมมูนิเคชในทีมเริ่มเงียบ
Could get his opportunity to shine again. Playing towards middle here.
6-6
I think noting presence. There is late pressure towards A main potentially as well. This is hard to read, hard to gamble on. But does Martin get his play in? Doesn't look like it just yet. It might be Tomasi.
อเล็กบอกว่าตอนนี้ไม่ต้องเครียดแล้วตอนนี้เท่าทุนแล้วขออีก1 วินเป็นกำไร
Towards that B side of the
คน
map.
แข่ง
น่าจะ
ใช่ไหม
ได้หรือเป
แต่
ล่า
โค้ดนี่ยังดูน่าเครียดอยู่เลย
Hasn't committed towards this anchor.
อเล็ก
My
Once
feet
again
empty.
on B. Happy to throw him up for the slaughter, and timing this time. Not sure if the rotation will come through. Still KC sticking to a 3-man hold on A site. I mean, Tomasi just needs to one and done really is enough for him.
Yeah.
In this situation.
He can get the help from the TP, right? That's not too surprising.
30 seconds left.
But can he get any help on the cross? They're backing. Look at the spike. Look where the spike's going.
Not a lot of time for this.
ไปเอเหรอ
No,
I mean, they have players on site, so they know that the plant's not coming.
รู้ตัวช้าหรือเปล่า
Somebody can get across the A site and deny.
เอานาเลศ
นั่นเล่นตรงกลางโดนวิ่งโบกมาไม่ทันมั้งเนี่ย
This is it. That's
มัน
stall.
ไม่ทันว่ะ
Everything Magnum. That's everything.
โอ้ย
เฮ้ยอะไร
เฮ้ย
เวลามันบีบจัดเลย
Keeping this in their favor.
เฮียบีท
โอ้มันเบรก
บ้าจัดเลยอ่ะ
คนที่วิ่งมาแม่งดันเป็น
And
บีทเนี่ย
because nothing else has really gone on
มัน
in
ต้อง
this
วิ่ง
round,
แล้วมันไม่ทัน
Magnum
น่ะ แล้ว
has
โดนบีท
everything
แบบ
to close
เก็บ
the
ของ
door
ไว้เบรก
short. PRX getting lost in the clock here. I thought KC were potentially going to be behind this. But it's absolutely beautiful.
That's dreamy for Magnum there, isn't it? So they keep the lead on the half. 7-5. It's a close affair. It's what we wanted for map 3 between these two. We'll be back in just a second.
Hello guys, I'm Aaron, known as Mindfreak in game, and I play for Team PRX. Yeah, so basically, I think Monyet took it personally, or maybe like this is the first time he get like talk in front of his face, that kind of stuff. Maybe like he took it personally. So basically, every time we won a round in split on the third map, and he's like screaming or whatever stuff, I say like calm down, calm down, calm down, you know, because like the match haven't ended yet. So yeah, I mean it's part of the game. I mean he tried his best to take us down, but personally I don't really bother at all because I was just like smiling at him.
Wrap around players, plenty of them, ready for the targets here. Heads could pop and heads could come clean off. Still watching and damage low enough. One shot in the chamber. Monye sends it.
The bottom line was we're just not informed like last year. We had this conversation like yesterday or 2 days ago. That's why our split today was a little bit better because we changed the comp for second play race. Monyet said that he doesn't comfortable playing race in split. So yeah, I think we definitely improved like a bit because now I think everyone playing their comfortable role, and I feel like it's a good match because maybe people trying to underestimate us, but in the end of the day, we take the W.
This is the final map I was hoping for, Mike. I want a game from both of these where we see the best of their capability, seeing Carmine Core picking up afterwards. A little bit of an issue there, tipping the scales right back in their hands, but PRX still feisty, still fired up. This is an elimination game. Only one of these two teams will carry on forward. So everything has to come out in this half. This is the final half of play, unless we get OT.
See how KC look to apply his composition in the second half here. Martin is revealed here. Well, maybe a little bit of a miscommunication. I don't think anybody else was spotted. Only him marked. We're going to force a rotation early on. We'll draw out a smoke on A main. So does Monye looking to shoulder that. A bit of a standoff here.
สองคนในซ้าย
60-second
กันไหวหรือเปล่าครับ
KC drift towards what looks like a B site execute here for the pistol.
High flash for the front part of sight. C's did come in, didn't connect.
ตัดหน่อย
ของแบบว่าเซตแบบ
who's towards the back of the side itself, but he's going to get one, so they don't quite know.
อินนี้3ตัวเซตโคตรโหดอ่ะ
Yeah,
เอ้า
that's a surprise. They did get the information on great trade.
สวย
อุ้ย
ใส่ของสวยมากเลยอ่ะ
Really playing with the push and pull of the round, and the
จะไว
cross
บาย
now
ให้
is
สวยจังเลยพี่
insane. The support here. Martin trying to clear back in, spike back in hand, but with 25 seconds, where are you going to go?
I mean, this is exactly the same amount of time that was left on the clock for PRX to make the
มั
same
น
rotation.
ใช้สกิลโคตรโหดอ่ะแบบไล่ทุกจุด
Martin tagged up.
อันนี้ไปเล็กแก้สวยอยู่ไปเจอบอมไม่นี่ด้วยไวเปอร์วางของ
Yeah, they're going to get
จะ
the
มาไว
plant
อยู่นะ
down.
ไม่ฟิก
Mindfreak close, but not close enough. 40 HP.
แต่มาคนเดียว
But he's
ดิ
here. He's going to spot one.
Spotted.
And now has to peel away for a second. I think right choice to wait for something to get close enough by to maybe work on some of the picks they
โอ้
get
เลือดเสียว
potentially.
เนี่ย
I think that door got shut. What do they do about it now? Spamming out towards CT. You hear the door going down. Shin turns his attention, spots it, sharp, clean work.
Yeah,
Carmine Core starting off the second half here with a bang.
Yeah, enough damage done to make something, and Mind Freak's chances of closing this out, I guess flipping this back in their favor, a little too difficult. Common Core very cautious of PaperX starting off the second half explosively.
One enemy remaining.
Always got to be the consideration for them.
ดูเหมือนท่าเป้า
Win this one
ใน
out
การ
in the
ยิง
end.
ในการ
Gonna switch up here just to Mazzy towards B. Information gather towards mid and outside B main, but nothing confirmed just yet. Draw of A site wide open though. Just divide over towards short. We tuck behind the smoke now.
They've pretty much cleared everything else, so they should be pretty heads up that short was the only pressure point. But a late plant has allowed for rotation coming. They've got it down now. PaperX make anything of this. The two sheriffs I'm keeping my eyes on with Mind Freak and Divide. They're going to get themselves into that smoke. They've at least crossed that first threshold and attack. The spike reveals the position. No chance to really close down on the two players in hell. So Divide, the only one to draw blood. Mind Freak now, last one to try and pull something across the line, but not getting much play. Yeah, this is looking done for. Yeah, go. Carmine Corp, convert the second.
สติงเจอร์มันยิงเป็นเวนดอลเลย
มันยิงสติงเกอร์ยังไงของมันวะน่ะ
ซูมยิงด้วยประเด็น
Couple of rifles on the board. Martin going to be the one to lead the charge here. Threw away from the Blade Storm as well, so good early progress. PaperX need to answer back. Need an early answer from them. KC already knocking on the door of double digits.
มีป่ะ
เหลืออีกหนึ่งอ่ะ
It might be exactly the same setup here. Now, do PaperX look to explore outside B main? I mean, with the Odin, you'd imagine not in the hands of Forsaken. A three-man stack towards A site behind this Viper wall. But Mind Freak expressed actually.
เอาเลยว่ะ
Martin looking to close the gap as well.
Well, that's a little uncomfortable there. Yeah, just about kind of evading detection on the other side of it. But Monnier going to be feeling that scrutiny on the side, though. Playing behind Dice, he's got to be careful that they couldn't creep up towards Gen, but...
Look at this, though. KC getting very aggressive towards short here.
On the other side, though, that flash looking very good there. There's the retake towards short. Monnier turns attention and keeps his life. Mindful.
มาว่ะวินสำคัญ
PaperX really dealing with that.
ลุ้นว่ะขนาดวินสำคัญยังลุ้น โอ้มันกดไป20แล้วอะมาตีนอะโอ้ลั่นแบบ
making the right noises, getting aggressive towards short, pushing all the way through tree.
ไม่คนละทรงกระดาษตายเลยว่ะพี่เอ๋ย
It's a crucial kill here from Monnier. Yeah, Shin TP in the open.
เราทรงนี่ปลาละเกม3
Little bit of a slip up.
It's a good opportunity though, and if you're PaperX, you'll take it with both hands. A lot of the early round, gotta say, Carmine Corp have been having their way really though. There hasn't been much play back in now. Starting to see maybe at least a test towards A main, but that's it. And just jump spotting towards middle. Be something. It does look like a 3-2 split again towards this A site. Difference being you've got divide towards wine. You're gonna have a little bit of an adjusted setup here, but the close down will try to come in. Martin gets dealt with.
มอนคนเดียว
เ
ฮ้ยโคตรฉลาดโอ้มอนคนเดียวเอาอยู่
อุ้ยซื้อเวลาได้ดีจัด
อุ้ยโหมอนเลยว่ะวินนี้
เราซากไม่ซากที่ว่าโดนโอ้มอนเบรกสวย
4 standing for PaperX. Magnum's going to try and find something elsewhere on the map, but
something.
Just find something. Yeah, he's already made his way across towards B. Shin spotted here with a jump peek as well. PaperX looking very, very well coordinated in the second half, Lauren.
Bye bye.
ก็เดินชิวเกิน
Going the way he wanted, I'm sure, but Shin now forced to say there's no good outcome for him in that scenario. But yeah, this is looking different now. PaperX starting to get a little bit more of a read. It feels like a little bit more comfort.
แต่เราจนจัดเลยนะ
The
พี่
first couple of rounds, it was
ตายคนหนึ่งได้ไหมน่าจะชิวๆวะ
PaperX closing the gap here.
มุมนี้มัน
เรียกว่าเช็คไปเรื่อย
keeping the rifle in hand. 5 more seconds. He'll get out with what he came in with 7.
หลอกให้ตายใจเนี่ย
Something's there, something's there. Shin
ไม่ไปดีกว่า
keeps it, but that was getting a little scary as well. 9-7, Mike. We've had 2 now consecutive rounds. That has forced Carmine Core into a timeout.
I think PRX will have the upper hand in terms of these first ultimates coming online as well, but another example of a comfortable hold on A side, particularly towards short, where the focal point seems to be for Carmine Core. There's Monye on the other side of this as well to counterbalance that, shutting down A main.
ทำเอาสองบ้าน
Happy
นี้
to stand his ground and fight. Yeah. They just can't dislodge him.
No. And the way he was able to offset the timing with that was just fantastic.
Blade Storm burnt up, not necessarily a massive issue. Fun's still there to support some weaponry for Carmine Core. On the other side of things, actually, Monye and Mindfree building up towards their ultimate. Something to, like I said, the advantage in that regard.
ยังไว้ใจไม่ได้ มาตินมีปืน
ตัวลั่นด้วย
Switch up this time. Gonna see. I mean, maybe not particularly a switch up. Something does generally play towards middle, but at the very start, still trying to support Forsaken here. Early utility, that's a problem. Martin just about gets in front of it and tries to keep his head down, not to be connected up. And that's a lot of information, and that's, again, no damage. What? Slingshot over it. This is ridiculous. Something's still alive, but he's nervous, and you know why? He's just seen a whole lot of players coming towards his site. Has his ult, has Monye, and he's just popped his ult as well.
Spikes down on lane.
Oh god, that's a problem. Devi's gonna at least isolate that final man from Massey. They have no idea where he is.
Oh my god!
Hello?
Turn around!
So Massey doesn't need to overcook this. He gets out of the way of the paint shell. And now a fair 1v1.
Reveal back as well.
This is everything. You can see Monye tries to evade it, tries to keep undetected. To Massey so close to the goal.
ไว้ใจได้ไว้ใจได้ แต่มันก็เสียวๆอยู่แล้วนี่
Right down to the wire though. Tomazzi slipping the net. And it's perfect timing here. Monye, 2 ridiculous kills.
เนี่ยตัว2เกือบ
This pressure flooding all the way down lane towards site. Bailing
ถ้ามอน
something
โด
out.
นนี่แบบซีดเลยอะช็อตนี้
PRX bring it within 1 now. Carmine Core back on a purchase. With that investment in the previous, you got to say the advantage now lies with them in terms of the ultimates. Something on an operator noted very early on in the round. Tomazzi commanding a lot of this space over towards B. I guess with the operator showing his hand early on, they feel like maybe something's rotated
มา
elsewhere.
ตีนโหดจัดเลยว่ะ
This KC will stack up outside B's site. We'll show to the Prowler.
อุ้ยสวยเซคิวสวยมาก
Yeah, that's really lucky
สวย
timing.
จัดเลยสัง
The
ซ้ำที่เดิมมั้ย
especially on the rate of all players, is so fortunate.
โอ้โหตีไล่เดสันเลยว่ะ
Will
เฮ้ย
get smoked off on the cross. And
เฮ้ย
ไอ้ปืนที่เขาพกไว้ตลอด
มีกระบอกเล็กก็ดิกูแล้วรีบวิ่งมาแต่ไม่ทัน
But now the counter strike back. They start flooding back, winning these fights. PRX, that flash, they've got to try and make the most of it. That was so good to Massey. Invest in the ult with the flank. Look at Monye. Getting a step or 2 closer, but the eyes have turned to Massey. The penny dropped. The plant's in, but does he consider it? There's the swing. Oh, it's exceptional from Tomasi. And something will be surely forced to save here.
Wow.
Surely.
He's going back in for this. Feeling confident, down to 500 credits, not an awful lot left in the bank. Not revealed up. We're going to try and find the kill onto Tomazzi. No, thinks better of it now. What a ridiculous opener from Forsaken though. And even with all of that success, still KC
แล้วช็อตตี้เวลาโดนตันมันยิงแบบ
steady the ship.
ตั้มเน้น
Find themselves double digits here on map 3.
แดดก็มาด้วยนะ
I've
แด
got to
ด
see
ก็
that
มา
again
แบบ
from Forsaken's
Oh,
POV.
yeah.
Shotty
I
เลย
want to see the whole round again. Just it felt
As
so.
the C's lands it, it completely takes the punch out of this execution. He then shuts down Narrate.
Who had his ult, by
Yeah.
the way, going at that point. Here we go. Counter ult comes out, and he read it. He was so ready.
โอ้โห เน้น
That's wild.
It's one of those random
แฟดลูก
shorty
นี้เลยอ่ะ
purchases that you just
ส่
like,
ง
wow.
ของ KO อ่ะ
Oh, Tomasi had a round too.
แค่ส่งเข้ามาใน
Pressure he
market
brought
คือ
over
แบบ
towards market, taking that space away, making them so uncomfortable for the retake. So valuable there. That's unlocked 10 on the board for Casey. Double digits is huge. PaperX got to start firing up here. This is tournament life. This is everything.
เฮ้ยได้ติด
พี่บอลเอาตัวไอ้บังเลยแล้วกัน
เชี่ยช็อตพรีเมียม
That's away. That's why Narrate gone again. That's with a stinger.
แดดเข้าไปในใจกูเลยพี่บอลบอก
We talked about him being completely unfazed previously.
Ui.
Ui.
Back on his head.
นี่ไง
Vengeance served, but still tipped again in the favor of PaperX with that kill from something coming out.
มึงรูดไปเดียวประตู
One is
พัง
taken though. Something's going to get a rifle as well. That's in play.
Right
They
there.
got to start moving here. Magnum turns his attention. That could be an issue. That could be an opening. Forsaken didn't note it.
Oh,
Oh, is this your moment to shine? Mind Freak only has a classic.
ได้แล้ว
Can he evade the stun? Mind Freak gets the upgrade, gets the rifle, and now they get this extended 1v1. One
Missed the
side
snake
now
bite.
locked off. It's not what he
Ui,
wanted
bị một
there,
tay
but
chặt.
Magnum now feeling the pressure. He's closing him down. Ringer, Rosie,
Yeah.
Magnum playing
โอ้โห
with
ไม่น่ามันยัง
โอ้ย
เชิงเลยว่ะ
getting Casey up to 11. Leading in game by example here.
Absolutely ice cold from
มันนิ่ง
Magnum.
จัด
มาก
Played to perfection. Mind Freak a little bit of a fumble on the snake bite, but nonetheless.
พี่บอลทำดี
And all of these rounds just seem to start with big wins for
Tomasi.
PaperX. Big wins.
Forsaken in the last round. You had Monyet this round. How much more can they do? They're giving you two at the very start. It's showing that depth of KC.
Give me one. Let's go.
They're getting pumped up. They might have PaperX on the ropes here, but let's find out. Still a good purchase to play with this time around for PaperX. They've got to make this count. The pressure is quick. Narrate off to a good
อุ้ย
start.
สวย
but
เจ
there
สัน
is Forsaken
เอาว่ะ
again
แก้ให้
on the bailout. He'll get you two if he
โอ้โห
can.
แล้วมาตีมันยังมีอีกชิ้น
Answers back. Look at what remains now.
Look at
Mind
Monyet.
เฮ้ยแต่มอนได้แมปอยู่
Right. Monyet's up in spawn. What a switch around of positions.
KC slow things down now. They've equalized the head count. Desperate to find another piece of information, another scrap sent out by PaperX.
เชิงกันก่อน
And they're waiting for PaperX to walk around the map.
They're waiting for that reaggress. That
Yep.
Divide. I mean, he's not actively doing it. He's kind of repositioned towards B because they're putting a lot of faith in Monyet's position. Obviously, short is open, but that's something you'll have to respond to.
I think Tomasi was just calling.
Oh, divide. 1v1 trade.
แรกหนึ่ง
There's still a player on B.
No
Again,
way. No
there's
way
no way they
Magnum
read that.
catches.
พี่มอน
No
Last
way he
player
catches top mid
standing.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, not a chance. In.
เรียบร้อยครับ
Yay.
เกือบ
แล้วจนไง
Another
KC
2K coming out from Forsaken.
เสียงหลุดถือมีดด้วยเมื่อ
PaperX
กี้
in touching distance. KC aren't out of the woods just yet. Look at that run of rounds. 3 on the trot. The break back through from KC. And an instant correction. How's the money looking for Carmine Core?
Don't look too pretty. I
Oh,
mean, two
scan
away
sủi
from
chặt,
the
lấy
blade
cả scan
source,
sủi.
an opportunity potentially, but
โอ้ย
ตลก
the tensions
น้องวัน
rising
ตื่น
here
เต้น
on
เว้ย
map 3. Only SMGs to work with here for Carmine Court. If you Monyet, definitely an opportunity. Sterling, yeah. Shut down
โอ้
Martin.
แล้ว
off
ซาก
the
ด้ว
rip.
ย
เจ็บอีก
นั่น
หนึ่ง
เอง
แล้วนะ
No chance of converting that stinger into
เก็
the
บตัว
blade
เต็ง
this
เนี่ย
round now.
โอ้แต่โทมัสซี่นี่ด่านนี้
Big
ก็เอาเรื่อง
opportunity
เฮ้
for PaperX
ย
here. Get a clean round. Keep the weapons up. Start taking back that momentum. This is huge. Oh, should be catched. Yeah, perfect. Divide. Oh, and the adjust really nice. No threats this time. Narrate, you got one. But with 18 HP and a stinger and no upgrade close to touch, I think he
เชื่อ
knows
ถ้า
this
OT
one is
ถ้า OT นี่
not
กูแบ
going
บ
to be the round to make
เชี่ย
the impact in.
เสียว
The
จัด
pings
เลย
on the minimap already. I mean,
That's
something's
nice.
going to hear it now.
Lovely.
เขาจะวิ่งไปไหนวะ
อ้อมไปไหนไม่รู้
วิ่งไปเรื่อย
This is getting back on, Mike. This is 10. They've got ults coming online. They've got rifles coming out. They've got Carmine Core back just not under the heel, but this close by.
PRX, I guess, off the start of
โคตร
this
ตึงเลย
round.
ว่ะเกม
An
เนี่ย
advantage here in terms of the ultimates. Look at the right side of the scoreboard here. Yes, Carmine Core on the brink.
เฮ้ยเรามีอันติ3
This is such a key round.
It looks like the pit might
แข่ง
actually
แม่แม่งเลยตรงนี้
lock down A main here.
How do they respond?
Yeah, cause Carmine Core to reconsider.
เราจะเข้าไปถึงหน้าเสียเลือดไปเท่าไหร่วะ
แทบจะปิดเลยอะปิด A เลยนะ
You see something counterbalance this with the operator on short.
เห็นดู KC นะทีม KC แม่งเล่นโคตรเก่ง
เฮ้ยน้องมอน
Monya just walked middle.
Oi.
What? That was
กะลักไก่
really
แต่เขาเล็ง
bold
ไว้
play to bring out there. Maybe he felt he had that support from short, but didn't get what he wanted, and that
คลิป
puts
หา
a
ละเข้า
problem
ไปบี
towards
เลย
B.
ทีนี้
Forsaken's going to have his hands full.
เฮ้ย something เห็นไอ้นี่อยู่
He has been good for two.
ซัมติงรอดักคนเช้าเนี่ย
Don't turn away.
ทามมิ่ง
Go
อุ้ย
back to business. There it is. Finds Tomasi. That's got to be so revealing.
ยิง
ตั้ง เอ้ย
อุ้ย
แล้วกระโดดไปไหน
Perfect. Ult now triggered.
Oi,
Where
เจสันยิงดี
Magnum. That's massive. Forsaken.
สวยมาก
อุ่นหมด
Knocks them down.
เฮ้ยแล้วมันเปลี่ยนโพซิชั่นแบบอย่างเนียน
And now Martin being hunted down. How much resilience can one man have? Not enough. Something reading it
ตนครับ
well, checking back on that cross.
ชิปแล้ว
And it all
แมตช์
falling
ไป
into
ก่อนเลย
place.
ครับแปเปิ้ลเล็ก
Can't believe they've tied this up.
นี่เซตอัพแบบแน่นจัด
11
อันติ
apiece
A
now.
มาวันเวให้ B
How will they do it?
And Carmine Core rocked in terms of the
โอ้
finances
something
as well. Such fine
โอ้ยนิดเดียวเอง
margins
นะ
นี้
here.
นะ
Something giving
ช็อ
up
ต
the
สำคัญ
cross, coming back
เจ
to
สัน
it.
ก็ได้อยู่นะช็อต
Catching
สำคัญ
Shin
อะ
on the second peak.
ไปคนละ2
Forsaken delivering time and time again as this B-side anchor.
เฮ้ย
โอ้หมุนอะไรวะ
Back down to SMGs, a Blade Storm to work with this
ถ้าถาม
time
ว่า EU
around.
จะเชียร์ใครผมไปตาม KC เนี่ยทีมเขาดูดี
PRX don't look like they're letting their foot off the gas
Yeah,
at
no.
all in terms of aggression. A 4-man probe outside A here to
เขาดู
get
ไม่
the
จีด
orb.
จาดดิอย่าไม่ใน EU ไง
It's
ใน
an
EU
adjustment, right? They're not playing actively on the site right now. They're leaving Mind Freak towards CT. That is the only adjustment we're seeing here. They're allowing this space, maybe having enough faith in this ult. And these players, it's so
Oh,
good.
sweet.
The timing on that.
เขาชุบได้ปะ
Obscene.
As soon as Narrate
Ai,
popped the
không
ult
này
as
ba?
well.
Every time he pops his ult, it's just cursed. Martin gonna get one back. Smokes off. Maybe give them a chance on the res here too. This buys time and it's critical. And now, PRX don't have that next prank board. How do they get to the site? This was with Stingers, Spectres, Sheriffs, and an ult. Where is that next layer? Here it is. Here it comes. Martin going to be noted. He is in danger. Can he solo with the storm? No. Forsaken puts him away. Now, something on the clear. Martin joins in. PRX. Starting to sweep the site. Down to Magnum. Down to Shin. Mind Freak again. That's his side, but
สวยครับ ขึ้นแทนไปก่อน
PRX.
ทันปะ
ทันพอดี
โอ้ย1 วิไอ้
This game is ridiculous. Almost giving
Okay.
KC
Last one.
of what that
โอ
12th
เคได้
round
หาย
would
ใจ
look
แบบเหนือ
like.
น้ำ
ผม
มัน
เคยกู้ไม่ทันแบบ 0.01 วิเดี๋ยวพี่เลย
Just a whiff.
ก็น่าเกลียด
Themselves on series point
Set
here, but
seal.
it's PRX to snatch away the hopes and
กู้แบบ
dreams.
โอ้โหทำ
ว่าจัด
What was that adjustment
ฟิก
from
ช็อต
something
นิม
there?
เชี่ยฟิกโดน
Oh, here we go.
เอาหน่อยน้อง
Starting to get fired up.
More of that. And they're not done yet.
เรียก
There's a
เรียก
buy
เสียง
still
เชียร์
here
เมื่อ
for
กี้เรียกเสียง
Carmine
เชียร์
Core. This is not done
Ui.
yet, but that's big information.
เอ้า
เฮ้ย
ชิบหาย
โอ้โหแต่เขาสวนนะดิ
Line given for Carmine Core off the back of his start. That is everything they
โอ้โห
needed.
แฟร์
But
สวนแล้ว
with
นะ
this
แต่แบบ
round still standing, there is no safety.
มาตีนแม่ง
โดน
เวอร์จัด
Still change
เวอ
around.
ร์จริงพี่
Does he read it again? The adjustment, not wanting to play
Boom,
from
there
the
was
catwalk
something.
itself, considering maybe they already thought about it, but it's his presence again. He is the one that gatekeeps this round.
something
He needs to hold this angle. He needs to catch 1, 2. Is he ready
ปื
for this?
น
Oh,
แก้
น่าจะรอ
แนบ
smoke
ลำ
ว่ะ
กล้อง
see Mind Freak moving closer as well. starting to get curious.
See just how close it is. Something gives it up.
Oh, what?
The timing! I thought he was going to... Mind freak not going to be able to do much more. Martin is absolutely activating
เจสัน
it.
อภินิหารโชว์ดิ1 v4
A 1v4. And Jort, this deserves OT.
แต่ไม่น่าเกิดขึ้นว่ะดูจากทีมนี้เล่นมันเป๊ะ
The hero of the hour. The hero of
เวอร์ไอ้โคตรเสกวินเลย
มันเวอร์ไปอ่ะ
And of course this game.
มันไม่โดนแฟกเก็กโกใช่ป่ะมาตีนเมื่อกี้
เหมือนมุดสโมกเข้าไปพอดีแล้วเมื่อกี้
เหมือนเพื่อนโดน4แล้วมันไม่โดนอ่ะ
เนี่ยมุดสโมกเข้าไปพอดีโอ้โหโคตรเวอร์อ่ะ
digging so deep
เก็กโกถุยไป4อ่ะโอ้โหแต่มันไม่โดนคนเดียว
demonstrating such a solid understanding of how PRX are playing in some of these mid rounds. A blank slate here. Round 25, operator in hand for something. KC back on the defense now.
What a great game.
Absolute banger.
Man, you couldn't ask for us anything better than this. OT now. Something.
เฮ้ยเอาไม่ได้
Careful, Martin. Forced away. That gives something
ไม่มีใครอยู่ยิงเลย
เฮ้ยเอาว่ะ
serious
เรียบร้อยได้ละ
ทีนี้
ไม่น่าพลาดบอส
ใครมันจะคิดว่าแค่จิกเกอร์พีกูจะตายแล้วโอที
เข็มมันใหญ่ไปหน่อย
Spike not committed just yet.
Hey.
So PRX looking to just find these picks. Tomazi lucky to escape with his life here. Actually gets a tag onto something.
บีทมันยกมือรอแล้ว
Down to 80 HP. So was going to be a stun coming through from Magnum there, but they pulled the rotation. Look at the minimap. KC stacking the chips towards B site.
This is a great adjustment. Now the knife does reveal the, the horrible reality of the scenario. If you're a Carmine Core fan, they're not coming B anymore. But they weren't quick on the uptake. They didn't overly dive into here.
ใช้ของเช็คแบบ
Do they go for
เช็คแบบ
almost
เช็ค
the
คลีนจัดแต่
retake
แบบ
or do
ไม่มี
they
คน
wait?
อยู่
I think they're gonna have to now.
เอาชัวร์สุด
Yeah, very close by here.
มุมนี้ด้วย
Get himself propped up on Jen. Tomasi looking maybe set something in motion here.
Send the C's through
first.
That's fail. It doesn't even go over the wall.
Now that could have been big too.
ตื่นเต้นนิดหน่อยครับ
Go through, but it's something to find a rate. Swing
สวยจัด
stands.
เรียบร้อย
นับไปก่อน เอาว่ะกันให้ได้กันให้อยู่
โอ้พอตัดตัวสำคัญเนี่ยตัดตัวที่กำลังลั่น
มาตีนไปก็จบแล้ว
KC
เชียร์เสียงเชียร์
fought tooth and nail to take this all the way to overtime.
กันให้อยู่พอ
โอ้สูสี
They're really starting to heat up now with this operator.
He's a big game player.
Undeniable value found by him.
Big timeout just came in. I just caught a glimpse of it. It's Carmine Core. We're in OT, so it kind of changes it. They're going to slow things down. Now that's going to be again right back in here. Magnum, again, this is very hard. Once you get into OT, calling becomes not impossible, but it's one of the hardest things I feel because it goes out of the normal realms of reality. You're not playing a standard game anymore.
Something เหมือนนี่
So
เลย
I
อ่ะ
think this is a good time
นิ้ว
to
ส
pump
กา
the
มัน
brakes
เดอร์
and
อ่ะ
check back in. Calm the nerves a little. You've still got a very young team here.
Exactly, yeah.
หนังเหรอ
We talk about obviously KC's opportunity here to really claim one of the international titans of Valorant and a victory over them.
Yes.
Again, uncharted territory for this roster. Shin, the only real legacy really remaining from Carmine Core. Everybody else, newcomers, other than Magnum, to the international stage.
EDG อาคังไม่ค่อยเล่นออฟเลยนะ
Lots to consider here.
เอาหรอไม่ได้จับ
Extremely tense as we enter round 26 here. PRX drawing blood first in overtime, but back on the defense now. Same setup, or similar once again from Carmine Core.
โอ้แล้วเขาจ่อเอกันแบบคอมโบ
โอ้โห
Finally,
มอนไปหายละ
in this position. It's been so difficult to dislodge him from there.
Oh, he's been near on prolific at his damage. How many rounds? 2 kills, 3 kills, just impact. So great adjustment and a really strong read. But there's bodies behind this, Mike. It's not just Monnier. They still have 2 other players, which I don't know if they're expecting that. But now, probably a lot of utility going to reveal who's present on this site.
Again, the other switch up being Forsaken over towards A site. Look at the amount of space that Mindfreak has.
Yeah, huge.
A ton of information. But
น่าจะรู้ไหมฟีกมันไอ้นี่มาแล้วอะ
Forsaken almost committed towards a site hold here. There's no getting out for the retake.
No, you've got to stand.
อะไรวะเนี่ย
Got to try and hold that ground. Martin's in, but he didn't get what he wanted. Switching out to the shorty is
อุ้ย
Divine
สวย
Forsaken.
อุ้ยเจสัน
เฮ้ยหมดจริงไหมเนี่ย
จีเจสันเอาไว้
โอ้ย
Keeping hope alive for themselves. Take it to OT.
ทำมันมาก
Beating Carmine Core. The European Reapers carry on.
ยอด
Heartbreak for KC.
โคตรเก่ง
Some real positives to take away from
กู
here.
ได้เคซีนี่ตึงกว่าเมื่อวานอีกเนี่ยมันเจอ
We've
เท
already
ติก
said an international veteran like PRX.
แชมป์
The shining stars of
EMEA
EMEA.
ตอนนี้มันใช้มี
คือชนะแบบว่าฟานาติกชนะอะไรมาหมดเลยใช่ปะเชี่ย
นาวี
Gave
ก็
it
โด
their
น
all today.
เชี่ยโหด
What
จริ
a
ง
fantastic series
โหดมาก
from start to finish.
ถ้าแบบว่า
I said should be very
ถ้าเขา
very
แบบว่ามี
proud
แผนเอา
of
ด่าน
their
บายมากกว่านี้
performance.
นะโอ้โห
Hey,
น่ากลัว
Martin
จัดทีมนี้
becoming absolutely electric towards the end of this series.
Yes.
Narrate as
ถือว่า
well.
ตึงกว่าที่เจอ
Potentially
เฮเล
even,
ติก
I
นะ
mean,
เมื่อวาน
even bowing out here, potentially
เฮเลติกหลังจากที่โดนบัฟทุบโต๊ะไปก็ไอ้เหี้ยโซ่หลุดเลยโดนคัมแบ็กกันจบ
And bigger
อันนี้คือ
picture.
ตึงจัด
Carmichael
ลุ้น
losing
จั
to
ด
Sentinels and PaperX is.
Who's going to turn the nose up for that?
No, I give him credit where it's due, but on the other side, of course, the victors today who somehow have been almost sparked back to life. Whatever Heretics did have turned these
โอ้
boys back into
ย
gods,
พี่มุก
and
ขอบ
it
คุณ
is
สำหรับ349 บาท
terrifying.
นะครับ
The
ขอบคุณมาก
resilience
นะครับ
shown, the
ขอบคุณวินจีนะสำหรับ5 กล่องนะครับขอบคุณนะครับ
three, right? It was just like
ขอบคุณโดมิจังนะครับสำหรับอีก5 กล่องนะครับขอบคุณมากนะครับขอบคุณซุปกับกล่องแจกกล่องนะขอบคุณครับ
Forsaken
โอ้
Monnier,
ยังมัน
and seeing now Monnier joining
พรุ่งนี้เขาพัก
the
ป่ะพี่
towards that top end of the board is exceptional to
Yeah,
me.
there's still some real questions.
พัก2 วัน
The comfort within
เขาจะ
the
สลัดตอนไหนพี่ จับต่อเลยปะ
I mean, Alex saying yesterday in the pre-match, we need to
ไม่
figure
แน่ใจ
something
เหมือน
else
เมื่อวานจับเลยอะ
out. Year 3 now.
ได้ pay off
We need to
แล้ว
figure something else out, but
pay off มี
still
เซ
they
น
just look so good at it.
มีเจนจีมีเปเปอร์เล็กแล้วก็มีลาวโอ้โหเดือดทั้งนั้น นี่มันแข่ง VCT แชมเปี้ยนป่ะเนี่ย
If anyone was going to put him home, I'm happy it was PaperX. What a fantastic run.
มี
from
เซน
Analyst
เซนจีเปเปอร์เด็กอะไรอีกคนหนึ่งนะ
ลาว
อะไรนะ
Supposed to like talk
โอ้โห
about the game, and then we're supposed to like break it down.
I mean, I feel like
นี่กว่าจะเป็นแชมป์มาสเตอร์มัน
พี่เอ๋ยว่าพี่เอ๋ยพี่เอ๋ยว่านี่ปะทีมที่แบบว่าพวกเฟเนติกพวกอะไรที่เขาแบบไม่เข้ารอบนั่งดูแล้วแบบคงคิดว่าแบบสมควรแล้วแหละ ก็น่าจะแบบว่า
อันนี้
ไม่น่า
มา
ไม่น่าพลาด
มา
เลย
ตีนโหดกว่าเดิร์กเยอะโหดไปเยอะเลยอะ
There was no protection. He just went for it and then
แต่
got
ดู
a
ฟอร์มก็
kill, and you're like,
ใช่
oh,
เหรอ
just something, just doing something.
แต่มาตินกับเดมอนวันพี่ว่าใครแต่
โอ้มาตินน่ากลัวกว่าเยอะ
พอไม่อยู่ EG แล้วเหมือนไม่
ใช่
ค่อยได้เล่น
มันเหมือนปีนี้มันมีผู้เล่นที่เป็นแบบเดมอนวันเพิ่มมาอีกเต็มไปหมดเลยเดมอนวันมันเลยดูดอบๆเลย
พอเปลี่ยนทีม EG ทีมไม่อยู่ทีมเป็นทีมเดิมก็
มีสิทธิ์เจอครับแล้วจะจับฉลาก
A squad that has no shame in losing to. I mean, let's not forget these are the runner-ups of the World Championship last year. For goodness'
อุตมาตีนี่น่าจะอนาคตไกลโหด
จริง
And if anything, I think that this just further confirmed for me that Monnier belongs on this team.
แต่ต้องรอดูฟอร์มเดมอนอ่ะมันพูดอะไรเยอะไม่ได้หรอกจะไปบอกว่าเดมอนมันฝีมือไม่เท่าคนอื่นไม่ได้มันยัง
นิวส
นิด
คา
เดียว
ร์เตอร์มาถ่ายรูปกับปวงชน
มันก็คือปีศาจอยู่ดีเดมอนอ่ะแต่แค่คนที่ผมจะสื่อคือมันมีคนเก่งขึ้นมาอีกไงคนเก่งที่ดูว้าวแบบเหมือนที่เราดูเวนันดูมีเยอะเลยไม่ว่าจะเท็กเจอร์ไม่ว่าจะโกเวเนอร์ก็ได้โกเวเนอร์ก็ว้าวอยู่นะแต่ต้องลั่นนะตอนลั่นนะแล้วก็มีมาตีนอย่างเงี้ยโอ้โหมินิบูอย่างเงี้ยแต่ละคน
Yes, exactly. We love that. Lo primero que le quería preguntar es, de entre todos los agentes que ha jugado, sobre todo por cómo le vemos.
คารอนเงี้ยมันมีแต่คนแบบผู้เล่นเทียร์2ที่ขึ้นมาเทียร์1นี่ยังเดือดทั้งนั้นเลยพี่
así que ya lo veremos. So,
ตลาดผู้เล่น
in 2 days, your team has defeated the 2 EMEA and sent them home. The 2 EMEA teams. What can we expect this time around
มาโค้ง
from
ด้วยนะ
PRX
ทรงนี้
in playoffs?
You'll never know what camera we're using.
That's for sure.
Even we
Do
are
you see yourself lifting the trophy?
อินโดนีเซีย
I cannot jinx it. I mean, we'll see. Like one by one, you know.
Le he preguntado que qué es lo que podemos esperar de PRX después de que mandaran a casa a los 2 equipos de EMEA. Dicen que desde luego lo que nunca vamos a saber es qué composición van a elegir y que bueno, que no quiere todavía como endemoniar, ¿no? Si van a sacar ese trofeo o no. My last question is going to be, tell us about, now that you mentioned those compositions, tell us about that composition in Lotus. Help us understand, right? You make those changes from one day to another, right? Like now you go with the
ถือ
Astra,
ว่าคุ้ม
the
อยู่นะ
Lotus comp
EMEA
with no
ได้ดูแบบ
Sentinel. So, you know,
โหดทั้งนั้น
help us understand why you make these changes.
I mean, it's just like we're trying to what's comfortable for us, so we decided to change it to Astra Omen since Forsaken was playing well on race like yesterday, so we decided to do that after we came back from the venue.
And that's it? Did you just double do the double control and send it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. Le he
I mean,
preguntado.
we prepped something, but it's not like very big preparation, you know.
Okay. Le he preguntado también por esa composición que han sacado en Lotus en la que deciden estar con el doble controlador, el doble duelista, pero ni centinelas ni
ภาษา
nada.
นี้เขาพูดไวมาก
Dicen que lo decidieron anoche, que Forsaken tuvo
เรา
un
สึก
buen
ว่า
game.
ประเด็นว่า
ประโยคนี้ไม่ได้ฟัง
Estas son las típicas decisiones que te llevan a lo más alto. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you in 3 days during playoffs, but we're not done. Todavía nos queda una cosa por
Texture
hacer.
นี่สุด
We're going now to the
ผม
draw, so to see who's going to
ติด
be
ใจ
facing off
Texture
against each
ปว
other
ด
in
เชียร์
3
เลย
days.
เจนจีจริงๆ Texture คือผมเองอะผมแค่ไปแข่ง เวลาผมไม่สตรีมก็คือผมไปแข่งแค่นั้นสลับตัวกันให้ Texture มาสตรีม
นี่ไงจับฉลาก
Hola a todos chicos, estamos aquí para ver quién va a jugar en los playoffs, para ver cuáles son los primeros
จริ
equipos
งนึกว่าทาลิก
que vamos a ver
เวล
dentro de 2 días. Victoria.
เฮ้ยมิกเวลคนสเปนเหรอ
All right,
Pen.
so this draw
Wow.
is very simple and straightforward. This is for playoffs, so you have 2
G2.
teams that are 2-0, 2 teams that are 2-1. The 2-0 teams will be higher seeds. They will play one of the quote-unquote
ไอ้
lower
กล่อง
seeds. It is a
ไอ้
new
กล่องยิงทะลุ
stage of the tournament, so there are no rules. Any matchup is good to go, and it's a double elim, so there are no separation rules. I think that's it. So if you want to just kind of, you can give me one of these, and then we'll see what the first team for the first match is.
Okay.
อันนี้คืออะไรอ่ะ จับฉลากเหรอ
All right, so the first team
นี่คือ
for the first
สุ่มแล้วเหรอ
match is going to be
เหมือนไปแค่จับเลื่อน
Sentinels, let's see.
And then well, by default, we'll do this. By default, the first team
และนี่คือการ
of the
เลือก
second
แบบอั
match,
ต
so
โน
they
มั
don't
ติ
play
เครื่อง
each
พิมพ์
other,
อั
but
ตโน
the
มั
first
ติ
team of
เค
the
รื่อง
other
พิมพ์อัตโนมัติ
match is going to be
ๆ เจนจีเจอเซน
Sentinels against Genji, dos de los equipos
ให้ทีมวาง2 ทีมหรือเปล่า
เอาวะ
los playoffs los primeros.
Yeah, there's 2 outcomes.
ดีเลย
So let's see
ผม
who plays
ถ้าเป็นเล็กเจอเจนจีนี่โอ้
¿Quién va a jugar?
มันถามว่ารักพ่อกับรักแม่รักใครมากกว่ากัน
Lao.
ลาไปเป็นเล็ก
Sentinels contra.
เป็นเจอลาว
So yeah, by default, we're gonna have
เอาเซนเจอร์ลาวเหรอ
Against PRX, yes.
ใช่เหรอ
De APAC, el Pacífico. Primero contra segundo. Bueno, estos
คือ
son
มัน
los
จับยัง
equipos,
ไงยังไง
chicos.
ไม่ใช่
Nos vemos
ไม่ใช่
dentro de
ลาว
2
กับ
días
เล็กเหรอ
en los playoffs. Muchas
Chip
gracias
Pie.
por venir. Un abrazo muy fuerte y nos vemos.
ฮะยังไงวะจับไงวะงงว่ะ
เซนเจอร์ลาว
2 คู่ 4เหรอ
เซนเจอร์ลาวเหรอ เอาชิบหาย
ตอนแรกมันจับก่อนว่าทีมอะไรทีมแรกคือ 20 ไง ไปวางทีมวางก่อน
แต่เมื่อกี้เหมือนมันจับฉลากปะ
No, instead we're just gonna.
It's just 2 finals.
Let's run it back. Let's run it
Oh,
back.
Let's run it back. Let's run our regional finals back. Oh my word.
ถ้าเรามองมาที่แชมป์พี่ว่าใคร
Good
แชม
to
ป์
have you here, pal. That was insane. From a
Lao.
commentator perspective, just so that we can give the viewers at home just a little bit of
ไม่
context.
ลาวไม่น่าแชมป์
How fun is it?
เจนจี
จริงด้วยเจนจีเจอเจเปเปอร์เล็ก เจนจีเนลเจอลาว
Yeah, we don't really know what they're gonna do.
เป็นดิเนลชิงกับเปเปอร์เล็กปะ
Actually, like, well, what
เฮ้ย
what's
โอ้
gonna
โห
happen next?
Moniette literally
ผมว่าเซน
said
ติเนล
to
ชิงกับ
Kakuka,
เจนจี
we
ว่ะ
didn't know what we were gonna pick.
ผมว่าลาวกับเจนจี
How can you know what you're gonna do when your opponent exactly?
มันไม่ใช่เปเปอร์เล็กวันแรกแล้วสิตอนเนี้ยตั้งแต่เมื่อวานแล้วเมื่อวานกับวันนี้มันคือเป็นอีกเปเปอร์เล็กแล้ว
ผมว่าเซนกับเจนจี เซนเนี่ย
อ๋อมีสายล่างอุ้ยถ้ามีสายล่างใครเจอกันก็ได้ครับผม
They absolutely did. I mean, in particular, I was so impressed by that Lotus. Don't get me wrong. The paper.
เอาละ
Yeah, there were other discussion
Not the
topics.
finest showing, but I did think
แต่
they're
ล่างก็
calling
เหมือน
on
มี
that
เซฟ
map
โซ
was
น
their
ละ
point. We saw a lot of these players step up. The rookies, honestly,
แข่ง
on
22 เหรอ
14 and Narrate both having exceptional series here against Paper
21 แข่ง
this tournament.
เริ่ม
People will walk
21
away from this and be like, oh, they got grouped. It's that
พัก
way.
19-20
Both matches, Sentinels, 2 or 3 rounds difference. They win that game. This game against Paper X, same damn
คือ
thing.
จีนมันนิ่งจัดเลยไอ้2 คนนั้นน่ะเท็กเจอร์ใครนะ
It's a bit
อารอนนะ
heartbreaker for Carmine Corp, but it's not an
อ่า
indication of this team. They
เม
just
เทโอ
อีก
อะ
run it.
เมเทโออ่ะ
To the big leagues because they
เมโทนิ่งเหรอป๊าป๊า
โอ้ย
first time and you're just getting
มันเอากันอยู่2 คนน่ะ
Look at the run they've had to face it.
มันยิงกันอยู่ 2 คนป๊า
มันยิงนั่นแหละมันยิงอยู่2 คนแมตช์แบบว่าตัดสำคัญอ่ะ
อ๋อ ไม่เขาอาจจะรักกันหรือเปล่า เอ้ยไม่เขาอาจจะเล่นเข้าขากันหรือเปล่า
ไอเท็กเจอร์นี่ฟอร์มไม่ดรอปเลย
คารอนก็มาเรื่อยๆไม่ดรอปแต่แบบโปรเทคเจอร์ไม่ทำอะไรมาวะ
I
มันน่าจะมีวิธีที่ทำให้ฟอร์มไม่ดรอป
want to see loud Paper X also, because both those teams are going crazy with
นอนดีกว่า
and stuff. It is, I feel like all
ไปนอนดีกว่าแชท เจอกัน
พี่เอฟพี่เอ๋ย
เดินครับ
เจอวันที่21ครับ เดี๋ยววันอื่นอาจจะสตรีมเกมอื่นบ้าง เจอกันครับ ขอบคุณทุกคนที่มาดูนะครับ ขอบคุณนะครับผม วันนี้ผมขอตัวกันนะครับบ๊ายบายฝันดีราตรีสวัสดิ์นะครับบ๊ายบาย ฝากคนละไลค์ด้วยนะ ก่อนไปนอน ขอบคุณครับ ขอบคุณที่มาเชียร์ด้วยกันบ๊ายบายนะครับสวัสดีครับ ขอคนละ1 ไลค์ด้วยนะบ๊ายบายเจอกันชาวเป๊ป เดี๋ยวเรามาดูว่าวันนั้นเราจะเชียร์